So I'm going to bring you up here so you can see what's up. So I can see what's up, rather. Oh, Lord. So Buck brought us a 181 today that actually is in very nice shape. At least the cases are in super nice shape.
It's an original 1984.
1984. That's cool. So
this episode unofficially sponsored by Yangling. Unofficial. They don't know it, but I do.
So I want to apologize to everybody for not being live for a while, but I'm actually waiting on parts, and yeah, parts, and yeah, parts. Sorry. Okay. No, So we're gonna figure out how messed up this is. So, Buck, do we know what killed this? What do you think? Hey, Nicky.
I think it was straight gassed, but it's hard to tell because there's no damage on the back.
If there's no damage on the intake side, I would definitely have to say that it's a lean condition. The question is why. On these 181s, my rough guess is those seals are hard as a rock.
Could be. I mean, the saw is original. It's never been rebuilt.
Yeah.
I don't know when he seized it up, but yeah.
What sucks is it's an original thin ring saw, so unfortunately, there's Daryl. So that's Mason's dad.
Oh, hey, what's up, man?
And Steve. How you doing, Steve? So we're hoping for Tim. We're hoping for a better new year.
Yeah. Yes.
Better year. Oh yeah, here's the 372 head that I gotta send out to Dave. That like a clip got in there or something and completely wrecked it.
Oh, it's not that bad.
Yeah, right. That one's cooked. Okay, so yeah, so I guess Buck started dismantling this, but figured, obviously this needs a teardown. So, and I want to, how many people we got? We had 9 people on. I keep telling people, for Pete's sake, you got an older saw, and it runs good. Yeah, great. Tear it down. Do yourself a solid. Even if it's running good, the seals, the rubber, it all gets hard.
Yeah, it'll cost you $100 to redo it, and that'll save you thousands.
Oh my God!
In overall cost later on.
Right, and the stuff that you find here is also interesting. Like, the random different screws you'll find on a saw that somebody put on there that are completely wrong. So somebody actually put these starter screws in, and I don't know if they buggered the gas tank or not. I'm kind of hoping not, but if you put a screw in that's too long, then you're going to bugger the tank. So use the wrong screws and you got a problem. Thank God they're not self-tappers, at least. Which I do see, people use that stuff.
Yeah, we got a flat tip up here.
Yeah. I'll let you do it. Hey, Stanley. Hey, Stanley, I got a question for you. Bird related. So our parrot actually is having trouble gripping. Both feet don't want to fully grip. And this just happened. Wow, that looks nice.
Look how clean that is. It's ungodly.
That's really nice.
I can't believe how clean it is.
Okay, don't break this, because I don't know if you can replace that. You picked up 3 Pro Max 610 McCullochs. Good news is you can keep them.
I might have another one.
I'll let you have all the ones you want. I don't know. I'm just not into that sort of thing, This is more up my alley. Every day of the week.
It's hard to believe how clean it still is.
Right. So, and actually, this is a really good lesson in what to look for if you're getting a used saw. Certain things to look for. Like, okay, look. One thing I look for paint on the front. Look at this. Like, no paint missing. There's no paint missing there. How about paint missing over here? Like, usually there's chain rash. How about the chain catcher? It's barely nicked. Barely nicked. And as much as this saw has been used, there's like no abuse here.
This is the original chain guard. Like, not a scratch, not a nick, nothing. It's perfect.
Beautiful.
And this
so,
was a logger saw.
Right. So somebody took care of this. Really pretty darn good. They used it, but it's a great saw to rebuild because there's a lot of stuff on here that you can reuse. Just an excellent saw to rebuild. So you're going to want to carb kit that and see?
Probably.
Okay.
Just on the safe side. And it's a big Tilly, so. This shit looks like somebody's been in here.
You could try just running it.
Yeah, I don't want to take a chance though.
So what I'll do with these is I'll put them back, just so they're retained there. And one has a washer, the other doesn't. And then you can take that off and do that. Yeah. Your bird's been really lovable. Yeah, well, Polly seems to be fine, but she's having trouble gripping. Her feet are splayed out and just kind of stay that way. They don't really have any strength to grip. I don't know what's going on, but it doesn't sound good. What do you?
Needle nose. I'll find them. Don't worry about it.
The pliers are all here.
Oh, these look familiar.
Those look familiar.
These things work really good.
I didn't get rid of them. They're right there.
I tell you, they work really good.
Could be arthritis. Could be.
Oh, we do have a little weather coming in.
Old bird with arthritis. Yeah. Possible. Check the plastic fuel inlet on the carb for cracks. Ooh.
Yes.
Looks good.
It does. It literally looks new.
Ah, is that a governed carb, though?
That's what I was thinking.
That might be a governed carb. You might want to swap that out. And for the 288s that, yeah, it's a governed carb, so it limits the RPM by dumping lots of fuel or something stupid.
Which would make you think it couldn't be a lean condition if it was dumping a lot of fuel on the top end. But you never know.
It definitely points to air leak more than or vac leak, as it may be. All right, what do you want? Let's take this off. 8mm, right? Can we throw these out, please?
Yeah, sure.
That you want to keep. That's an original. It's kind of short.
Didn't look right to me.
I've got the right. Have you been feeding him sunflower seeds, fresh banana, and apple? No. Maybe a little bit of apple. Not really. Not sunflower seeds. Probably has seeds, but seeds and pellets, mostly. Never see a governor carb. It does have an H-jet, but yes. It does have a high jet.
It's got a high
or high and low needles anyway.
But that's what this is.
And I think you can disable that, but you have to take it apart.
You got to take it all apart, and you got to
plug it somehow.
Plug something inside, and then put that back in.
And you spend an hour and a half jerking around with a carburetor, and then it doesn't run anyway for some dumb reason. I've had that happen plenty. Here, for this one. By the way, you can actually leave that on if you want, but doesn't really matter.
Okay, so I'm going to take it off so I can clean everything.
Yeah. Okay.
Still got the original markings nice
The
and clean
markings
on
and
it.
paint. Yeah, perfect.
That's amazing.
I'll throw that right in the ultrasonic. This too. Actually, another thing to look at, the intake block for cracks. Unfortunately, this one isn't like clear-ish. Some of them are clear. The 394s have a clarity to them.
Mm-hmm.
If it's just me guessing, this looks okay. I would not deem that as cracked. That looks good.
Yeah, this isn't the Bakelite style. The Bakelite ones are the ones that cracked real bad. This one looks really good.
I'm going to throw that in the ultrasonic too.
Sir.
Take these two off. 8 millimeters here with a little impact. You might be able to use, I don't know if we can, but either way, you got to get those out of the way so because it's easier to get the flywheel out. Nice. So now, if we are fortunate, we can use the flywheel puller.
With
Okay.
13.
So 13 should be there. It's not. Actually, no, it's not 13. That's bigger. Try 14. So 10, 11, 12, 13, yeah. 14. So on that set, it's pretty nice. Yep, just push. Yeah. Good. The 13's around here somewhere. That one's kind of one of those.
Still has the original flex washer. I didn't put a lock washer in there. That's a good sign too.
Yeah, not too many people have been into that thing. Very nice. Usually my 13 is stuck. My torque wrench.
On the torque wrench, where it belongs.
Where it belongs. Because I use the 13 like all the time. But we're going to put that back so we can find it. If those will splay out far enough, then it'll work, yes. Only needs like, what, 5 threads in there? It doesn't need tons of...
So you've never taken McCulloch
flywheels off?
No.
The hardest one I think to take off is 394.
Yeah, go take off.
Which are essentially the same flywheel, by the way, but they, for whatever reason, they get pretty stuck on there.
Yeah, go take off a McCulloch 840 flywheel.
Nikki says, introduce your friend. This is Buck.
Hi, I'm Buck. I'm a nobody.
Buck is not a nobody.
I used to do a lot of my own chainsaw stuff, and now kind of retired. Don't do a whole lot. Don't mess with them anymore.
Everybody's had a bad year, including Buck.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're going through stuff kind of together here, and he's having a good time, and I'm having a good time, and get it down sort of tight, and then we'll tap it. Yeah, tap it with the hammer. Yeah, there you go.
A little tension on it, and then give it a wacky.
Give it just a little something with that. Ooh, yeah, don't worry about that.
Hey,
Hey,
don't worry about that.
no. Lift it up. Watch this.
Yeah, I usually do it with a string.
Okay. Now a little more of the wacky. One day I'll actually make a stronger one of those units, but today I don't.
Something tells me I don't think this one's ever been off.
Whee! Yeah, Stanley, the bird is getting old. She's 26, so.
Doesn't look a day over 25.
So this is a flywheel puller. This is actually like the Chinese version of flywheel puller. I would love to remake this in something that doesn't bend.
Yeah, maybe stainless.
Like stainless would be nice. Just something thicker, you know. One of those things that I just haven't gotten to. Among other things. Piston probably next. And or if you want to take the tank off, that's easy too. This goes right. Of all the stuff that the ultrasonic does, it cleans up flywheels the best. So mean green in the ultrasonic doesn't even need tons of mean green. Just flywheels come out beautiful.
It always helps if you get the
Preferably don't strip it. You know?
the impact going the right way. It usually helps pretty well.
Buck, take something while he's gone. Nikki wants you to take something while I'm gone. Actually, the truth is, Buck, when he shows up, there's usually more stuff here than when he leaves. I guess I'll have a drink with you. Why not?
Hey! It's chainsaw time
faster than that at flywheels.
What do you say?
Nikki says you're faster than me at flywheels. Uh-oh. Oil.
Oh.
Yeah, you thought you emptied it all, right?
You never do.
But you didn't.
You never do. You never do.
This board will never rot.
Right?
Pyrenees MTB. You love chainsaws. Well, I can't say I love chainsaws. I love my sawmill. That's for sure. Saws are way more habit than they are hobby at this point. So here, no. The piston's wrecked. We know that, but
yes,
but
we might be able to save that piston.
All right, so let's see if we can get the piston off. But what we can do is watch this. Take your nylon.
Yeah, stuff it in the side.
And stuff it right there. And now
wacky with the impacty.
Hit it. Now you're not going to bugger that piston, hopefully. Now the crank is stuck for sure, but whatever, it's fine. Heck.
All that's clean.
All in the ultrasonic. Beauty, beauty, beauty. Gorgeous.
Even the flat washer's still good.
And the
dry shaft
right there. And the washer, don't forget about that. Good.
I got a new one of these, but that one looks perfect.
No, it's perfect. Leave it. Don't. Yeah, no, I wouldn't. Yeah, stupid to change that out. It's in such nice shape. Okay. So yeah, nylon rope in the case, and then you hit it, and you're good. Okay. now we have to figure out how to get that off.
What's that?
We need the oil pump. So 3mm.
Yeah, it's just the bolts, and then I usually use dental pick and get into both of these slots and pull them.
Do you think I have a dental pick?
I don't know if you would. Not many people do. There's a roll of paper towels. Stop wasting the Kleenex.
They're cheaper. They work much better for my hands than paper towels.
That's right.
I have dainty
Sensitive
hands. I have dainty hands, man. You don't understand. All right. 3mm. Hang on. Usually I crack them.
Can I get a pick?
Yeah, I crack them with. But yeah, here's a pick.
It's real important to clean out these. What is?
Just trust me.
God.
There you go. As you act like a dental assistant, you go like this. Good. And you just poke it right into my head.
Did I?
No.
Oh. I was gonna say I've done enough medical stuff to know it's always tip up.
Always worries the heck out of me when I see this type of stuff. So yeah, I usually like it to just kind of crack them with that, and then I can put this on here.
Oh my God! It's not even packed with.
It's not even too packed, right?
Oh, went right through.
So yeah, crack with that, and then done.
Still got the original Loctite on them.
The oil has a brass gear. No, not on this one.
So you see, it's still got the original Loctite on it. This has never been apart. I'm very confident in that.
Yeah, it's also a nice way to identify those later.
Yes.
you know exactly which one those are for. Two at a time. Here, watch this. Yes. Hang on.
I was looking for a dental pick, not a crowbar. It came right out. When does that ever happen?
So now what you need to do is look at.
Oh yeah, this thing's hard as a rock.
Yeah, are those seals hard?
Yeah, it's hard as a rock. Feel it.
So a couple things you look for. Are these seals hard? Oh God, yes. So now you can take a reasonable guess here and say, okay, what got this saw? It was probably the seals hardening up over time. And as soon as you get it hot, the seals open up, and now you got a leak. And you don't necessarily know it. It might start good cold, but over, you're out there running it. And I got a bajillion of those too, so no worries.
Oh, do you?
Yep.
I always save them just in case.
So, again, I have substitute parts for this. This is the X ring. It's a little O-ring that goes on here, also called a quad ring. And then there's an O-ring that goes on the outside. I'll give you part numbers and all that stuff from McMaster Car. Or the O-ring store, I forget what it is. So now what I try to do is I just try to focus on just splitting it, and then we can take this over the sink and clean all that stuff out.
Okay. You want to put this in the ultrasonic too?
Sure.
It'll make it easier to pull that bearing.
Dump it right over there.
Seal out.
Yep. So let's get the handle off while Buck is traveling. Now all these AV mounts are kind of short. They're like the extra short M5s. They look about 10 millimeter to me. Also do that can come out too. What?
See, aren't those handy? you glad somebody was thinking about you and gave you a pair
Do you
of
see
those?
all the stuff in the drawer? All the good stuff.
I don't know about all that stuff. All I can you know, is what I contributed to.
You can feel good about yourself.
Yes. Give me a little pat on the back.
That's appreciated. Yeah.
Oh no, you do. Oh my God, what are you doing?
Okay, handle's all yours. Hopefully. Cool.
Pressed, didn't mar.
So yeah, show the camera what's up with that.
So that long screw that he already threw away, that was in the wrong place, holding
Chad
in.
meter and Jesus, what's going on? When are you doing another 200? Hopefully not. Sorry.
I hit 200. You can see where it pressed into the tank here, but it didn't press in enough to mar it or really
Create a leak.
yeah, over exceed the rubber and tear the rubber or punch a hole in it. So all in all, I mean, this thing is in amazingly good shape.
So the AV mounts look good. Double check the AV mounts. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're all solid. Even the front ones that always tear out and this one that always tears out, still good.
I think I have some sitting around if you need them too. And by the way, you can change these out for spring.
Yes.
You can change them out for spring and have combinations. If you don't want all rubber AV, you can get half spring, half rubber, whatever you want.
Yep.
Watch out for the... This looks like something's coming out there.
Oh, is it broken?
I hope. Probably not. It probably just needs to be pushed over. Let me just clean it up first, and then you can... And if you want, you clean that up, and I'll get the piston off here and get this split.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be drifted back out and drifted back in.
Drifted back in, yeah.
So we're going to clean
No
it
worries.
up first.
All right, so let's get the piston out of here. So these are pliers. They were ground out, little half moon shapes. You can really grab clips well. This is John Riley's idea, not mine. OEM clips, save them. Sometimes you can just tap on it. It comes out often. Yeah, you gotta give it a whack.
Get that stuck. You don't have to brass strip.
But you're doing it wrong, Buck. What the?
Who's doing it wrong?
Uh-oh.
Who's doing it wrong?
Great. Buck.
I told you don't do that.
I used exactly the wrong size so it got stuck inside. Great. That ain't coming out without heat now.
What are you, out of your mind? I'll have...
Ah! When was the last time you guys saw me do that?
I told you stop. Oh, see. Yeah, but I don't want to mar up that.
Well, the wrist pin, who cares? I mean, the wrist pin, who cares? This was smaller.
It might be too small.
The case, yeah, go ahead.
Ow.
Hang. I like the idea. However,
Where's the vice grips at?
there. Get had the right idea.
This is why we used brass drifts, Matt. Is that what I needed to get you for Christmas?
This was not supposed to fit inside the wrist pin.
It didn't. You forced it.
Jerk.
Been called worse by better.
All right. Abuse I take day in and day out. One, two, three. Was there any under there? I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
So, and there's one at the back. Don't forget that. I'll let you.
Oh, okay.
I thought that.
Make
Yes.
me look like an idiot when we forget one.
Natalia Frack. Ups? Yeah, ups. 200 are the best. Are you taking any builds? No, I'm not. Except, you know, when Buck shows up. Besides the 300, the best saw I ever made, no auto-tune garbage. Yeah, the 288's a great saw, and it's the chassis is nice. You put this is a 181. This is originally a 52 millimeter head, and you can put a brand new, still made 288 head right on this, bolts right up, no problem. So back to the question about the 200s. I'm not doing the 200s, not because I don't have any builds in right now. If I end up,
You find one thing worn out, the little rubber in there.
the little those disintegrate, so we can put a E-clip on that.
Yep,
that'd be perfect. But yeah, the 200s I haven't taken any in a while for repair. Don't really plan on doing it. And the guy that does so many of those is Lone Wolf, and
Yes.
and he does a great job with them. I think he's in New Jersey.
Yep, I hooked him up with a couple.
Yeah. So Lone Wolf on the forums does lots of 200s. He does such a nice job with it that, you know, I generally, if somebody wants to do one, I just refer it to him.
All right, where's your fancy pants tool, Mr. Tool Guy?
Tool guy.
This will be my first time using Matt's fancy pants tool.
Well, this is not, this is not a tool I do. This is a tool I modified, not one I developed. We're going to use the tools I developed to put this back together, if we can get it clean enough. But this, so this is just a regular Husqvarna C-clamp style splitter. So you got 7 bolts out of here, 2 in the front, 4 there, and 1 at the back, right?
Si, senor.
Okay. So now we can take, and you can actually hit this with an impact if you want, or if you want to be lazy, I think, there you go. So a ratcheting wrench works too.
15, 16.
There's Lone Wolf. How do you get a hold of him? You get a hold of him by going on. Did it pop? Yeah, you're good. Sometimes I'll tap this, but if you already got it popped, it's fine. Yeah, Lone Wolf, you find him on OPE Forum or Arborist site. So either one of those, OPEforum.com or Arborist site. And you can find Lone Wolf.
It does not happily come apart.
Look underneath, make sure is it all separating evenly?
No.
Oh, okay. So then just relax it a little bit. Yep. Yeah. So if something's stuck,
Missed a bolt.
you missed a bolt. Like I said. Uh-oh.
That's why I missed a bolt. Give me a crowbar when I need a dental pick. I'm just teasing.
This guy. He's such a guy. I don't know. All right. Actually, I want something smaller here. Missed a bolt. Can wreck a set of cases in a hurry.
Yeah. Surprised
I did it to a 262 set of cases. That was really not a good thing. I know how to fix it. It's okay. Hang on. And I got more bolts, so no worries. All right, so this
Yeah,
this is
torques.
fine. We can show no speed us.
Oh,
Watch this.
sometimes they work.
Yeah, sometimes they don't, but
Sometimes it works. Most times it don't. Well, now that I look like an idiot to the internet, I'm gonna have another beer.
as opposed to looking like an idiot to everybody, like generally. Okay.
You know how I know I'm stupid? Because I knew better than that.
I made that mistake myself not too terrible long ago. So this is an easy out. It'd be nice if this was in the correct direction. So this is a bolt remover. Okay. Come on, you son of
Some bacon on it. Yep.
Is it moving?
Yep.
Oh, yes.
I'll honestly give those style easy outs a 30% chance of working.
I've had good luck overall with them, but yeah, some people.
You can't hand fist them. You gotta be nice to them.
Ha!
Yep. Got 'em.
Away. Sweet. Did it. So now this should come right apart. Yeah.
Should be the keyword. I don't think that's got enough ass. No.
Put those away.
That guy goes in El Garbaggio. See ya.
Yes. See ya. That's this kit. I've had pretty good luck with them. Not every time though.
Oh, that seems to be separating so much nicer. Can't figure out why.
Often when I have trouble, it's because of the positioning pins.
Yeah, usually they hang up.
This I usually just put somewhere else.
Oh, don't lose that.
Yeah.
Custom, the original.
All right.
Same idea.
Same idea. Now you don't have to worry about the bolts. All right. While he's doing that, let me answer questions here. Just have my 2 high top and good enough for me. Yeah, Vince, I know. That seems reasonable to me. 5150 powder, long time a fan of Matty. He was the first carrier I learned from years ago. Got me through my first carrier belt. Big props. Well, welcome. Thank you for that. Glad I was able to give you some ambition. If I can give somebody some ambition, then I'm happy. You know. How many people watching? 28. That's pretty good. Parts order delay. Yeah, right now I've got a parts delay. So with the 440, I'm waiting on Paul's. The 026 Pro, I'm waiting on the stupid intake boot, and the 262, I'm waiting on the one AV mount. That's it. Worse is a busted tap. Have to EDM drill them out. Ugh.
Ew. Ew.
Ew, what?
EDM. Drill it out. Ugh. No, this thing is gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Put that in the ultrasonic too if you want.
Aye, aye, Commander. That bearing stayed too.
Crusty. Feel the
Yeah.
seal though.
Yeah, it's hard as a rock. Surprised it's not breaking.
That's the issue. Made some bad choices for parts last year. Fell in love with images from and received crap. Yeah. Here, you guys. All right, so we're gonna get that cleaned up, get these cleaned up, and get this thing back together, right? Got to put Buck to work, getting these things cleaned up. You know, that makes sense, right? Actually, while he's over there, you know what I can do? I can work on these. This gasket is a hold. Ugh. So, take this over there, give it a good clean. I'm gonna shine this up metal-wise, and then we'll switch it.
You want to test the bearing out first?
No. There's mean green in the sprayer there in the sink. All right, so let's clean this up. I just used some Scotch-Brite. Yeah, the recoils I don't use. Know how? Happy New Year. Fuck, you just made a new record on Matt's channel for a teardown? Really? Cool. Did you bring over the log splitter from Dad's that I repowered last year? No, Dad has the splitter, or at least it's at my dad's house. And of course, Dad's gone, so my brother or cousin are going to use it, I think. So no, I did not. I don't need a log splitter. I don't. You know, with the small amount of wood that I do burn, a lot of it comes from the sawmill, from scrap. You know what I mean? This is just a razor blade in that gasket. Now I just hit this with Scotch-Brite. Oh, wait a minute, hold that thing. Oh, still forgetting. My brain. Hang on. It's coming. Yeah. OEM parts get real pricey in a hurry. So, positioning pins. Don't lose that positioning pin! Good. Yeah, if you get familiar with it, you can really figure out what parts are good and what isn't. How long is it now, Matt? Since Dad passed, 2 months. October 23rd was the day. Really not been a good year, you know. So let's hit this with some heat. Pull the bearing out. Who's 372 good? Well, it doesn't like any of the aftermarket covers. I just use for 372s anyway. Use the OEM covers. Sucks, but you do not have to do this hot. You can do it cold, which I have demonstrated plenty of times. Get it nice and warm. Get out of socket. Bearings out. Now I can go hand this to Buck and he can clean this up and I'll work on the other one. Hot. Yeah, we're going to go back and forth on this for a bit, which is fine. So here you get a seal on this side and a bearing to pull there. Let's pull that out. Just learn parts. Be very gentle with it. Yeah, we're trying. We are. Thanks, Stanley. 2003, Dad died at 51 years. Yeah, mine was 71, Nikki. This is awful. Awful, awful, awful. The Greek is a good seller. Yeah, yeah, I've had some random shipping issues, but not because of them. Danica drop or whatever it is. Anyway, overall, yeah, pretty good experience. Not crucial back here because there's not really a seal. So if you want to do this like ultra proper, then you really need to have like a flat plate and some sandpaper and 400 grit and whatnot, and you get it nice and flat. Again, this is not a Concours level build, so not really worried about it. So nice clean metal. I can go back a little more clean up the buck. Thanks. Hey Matt. Hope all is well. Yeah, we're right now. I'm trying to figure out what to do with the bird. She's not doing the best. But overall, the kids are good. So go back to work tomorrow. Again, I've so everybody knows I have given my resignation. Don't know whether we're going to work something out or not, but at this point, don't really have a plan going forward either. It might go together in one sitting. We'll see. And back to Buck for cleaning. Where's the crank? I'll break clean that. Okay, we'll do a little bit of cleanup here, and then we're going to really spend a few minutes in the ultrasonic, but still, let's see if we can get that better. Could have an ugly sidekick to make me look good. What's going on in the office? Yeah, I'm just not. I won't really say at this point, but so far I've given my resignation and just a disagreement. That's all. Basically, I'm good. I mean, the work's good, so just have a disagreement, and eventually have enough of those that I don't have any other place to go necessarily. I have other places to go, but I don't have something specific that's like, okay, I'm gonna walk into another 5-day-a-week job type of thing. Yeah, just never know. So how's our hobby like most of construction? Good bench tool maintenance, always fix. Yeah, oh for sure. There's always something to fix. Lately, I've been doing a lot of relaxing, just trying to do a little bit of chilling out. if I really do end up leaving, then I will take some time to get my head right, you know, and then kind of go from there and find something else to do. Hey, Craig, welcome. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. All that fun stuff. I need this, probably not. That away. All bucks cleaning, might as well put stuff away that I don't necessarily need. Bricks, blocks, and concrete. Okay. Yeah, I'll be happy if I get a rest, you know. If we work something out, that's fine too. But don't have my heart set one way or another, you know what I mean? Chuck those, don't need those anymore. The crank. Okay, so now what we can do is just hit this with a little brake cleaner. Don't need to go completely crazy. Echo Man, what's going on? Welcome. A little bit of WD-40, a little bit of brake cleaner, and go back and forth a little bit just to make sure the big end is really quite clean. The thing you want to do is make sure that there's no cracks here in the cage. Completely fine. These are real robust, so not worried about it. Dig and define. Welcome. Just so everybody knows, any questions, comments are always welcome, and that really questions and comments make everything much more fun. I have a lot more fun when I do that sort of stuff. Kind of the idea of hanging out with you guys is to have fun, you know? And I make mistakes. And we do everything in real time here. Everything, mistakes are made in real time. This is not a cooking show. I don't have everything scripted. I don't have everything planned. We know we're taking apart a 281 or 181 or whatever this is, and we're going to put it back together. We're going to make a 288. That's what we know for the day. But whether it'll run or not, or whether we bugger it on the way, we have no idea. Get a little bit of brake cleaner. Go back and forth with that. WD-40. Just have something on there. I know everybody I catch hell for having WD-40 and everything, but you know what? It's easy, it's convenient, and I don't think it gives me a lick of trouble, to be honest, because all you got to do is get the saw over the bump of starting for the first time, and then everything's lubricated. Fuel, with preferably oil, you know what I mean? So, that's ready to go. Ready to be installed. That is fish paper there. Joined late. No big deal. It's fine. Curious where the tank vent is. If it's similar to the 120 Mark II. What 120 Mark II? This was a 181. It will be a 288 by the time we're done. The big difference, 181, 288, is you go from 52 millimeter bore to 54 millimeter bore. You go from thin ring piston to the regular 288 54 millimeter piston. The linkage is a little bit different. The throttle linkage, rather. It's a wire instead of a roller. We don't even know if this carburetor is going to be kittable, you know. I have no idea. How do I deal with getting actually, you know what I do with those? I use my really long pliers, and no, I don't have the tool. I just go in and twist, and they come out generally. And if they're going to break, they're going to break. So I don't really even worry about it. If it's going to break, put a new one in. Just got the big roll of steel fuel line. Yeah, it is good. I got a whole roll sitting down here, too. So the tank vent, we're talking about like the oil tank vent or the gas tank vent. So, and similar to the 120 Mark II, I don't know what that saw is or what you're referring to, but, oh, somebody wants you. Better. Next thing to do, make sure the oil pump is clean and ready to rock, because what we'll do is we're going to use that to guide that bearing home.
Okay, boss.
So let's get the bearings out, because we're going to be ready to rock on that pretty soon. That ain't no Dolmar. Yeah, it's not a Dolmar. This is a 181 Husky. UC beer. Buck brought beer, so you know. Yeah, you can use the right angle into those pliers, but you can grab the AV mounts and just grab them and twist, and usually they come out. What you doing? He's thinking. A straight pick? You want a small thing? You want the other pick? The crowbar that you had. You want the crowbar?
The crowbar. I'll take the crowbar.
Ow! Hey! Nasty. Nasty. Gonna switch his beer. Alright. Fuel vent. Husqvarna 120 Mark II. I don't even know that model of saw. A Husky 120. Buck, you ever hear of a Husky 120? What model's that? He's gone dark. Yeah, I unfortunately I can't help you there. I'm unfamiliar with that model. Okay, so Nachi 6203 ZZ. It doesn't matter whether it's a ZZ or sealed or shielded or not or open, whatever. 6203 is from Nachi. Nice pairings. You pop the seals or shields out if they're shielded. It's a tiny saw. Yeah, I would have to guess it'd be similar to a 350, and sometimes it's just this kind of whitish plug, and you can just pop them out, assuming you take the tank off, which it's probably easiest to do, or to do with the tank off would be a better way to put it. Man, these are nice. Buck, these are dang nice cases. Okay, so I just pop these shields out with a screwdriver. Just kind of dig in. Now, so before I actually try to put the bearing in there, let's clean all this up really well. Because you want this clean. The easiest way to do to really get this clean is with the Dremel. So let's use the Dremel with a wire wheel. I like my Dremel with a wire wheel for this particular application. This one is a brass vent right under the right side of the carburetor. Really? I'm sorry, I'm unfamiliar with the model, so I can't help you.
We have dishpans seeing this pretty soon.
Uh-huh. Nice.
Almost like I've done this before.
It's almost like you've done the whole cleaning up stuff before, yeah. Wire wheel.
Works awesome. Don't put these wire wheels on high speed because you'll be picking them out of your eyes, your
eyeballs.
ears, the ceiling, your socks. You roll over in bed, it's going to poke you in the nether regions. They end up everywhere. Low
Tell
speed.
me, does that look good?
I think it'll be alright. Get a razor blade. Oh, that's perfect.
It's getting gooped up anyway, too, so as long as it's fairly shiny. These roll-lock wheels are awesome.
I'm paranoid about air leaks and stuff like that. Forgive me. Oh, you buy the sissy brake clean. The non-flammable stuff. Where's the fun in that? You know, like a little whoop every now and again to wake you up?
Great. I never had a cheap trip to the dentist. Yeah, well,
Does anybody?
does anybody? I need to rebuild bank account, so does Matt. So does Craig. Matt's comfortable. Okay, so
Oh, nice new nachos. Nachi.
brand new Nachi right here, ready to rock. Let's So on this side, I'm just going to drop this right in. When it's to the right temperature.
Yeah, I'll flat this
PTO side is different, so we'll do that in a minute. Actually, can you grab my thermometer? It is above that black triangle. Whatever that was is irrelevant. Hit it. What do we got?
208.
Yeah. Too cold. Like 300 is good, when you, especially if your bearings aren't in the freezer.
You can get them in the freezer and freeze them solid for at least 2 or 3 hours. You can get away with 2 or 4. They usually slot right in.
Here's the problem with that, though. Freezing bearings means moisture.
Yeah.
So as soon as you put them in, they pull moisture in. Hit it. See what we got. What do we got?
375.
Hot. Yeah, press something there. Thank you. Good. Your bearing's in.
Some people put a little Loctite around the bearing.
I actually use anti-seize when I'm pulling them in cold. I use anti-seize to pull them in so that they are in nice and good, rather than doing the Loctite. I'm not sure. And everybody gives me hell about using the anti-seize. Well, you're going to spin the bearing. Now, if everything's fine, you ain't going to spin the bearing.
I know people do Loctite to ensure they don't get an air gap around it. Not that you should.
I can't possibly imagine. And if your seal's good, then it's not going to matter anyway. It is probably a little warm. Okay, so now we go to this. So
Butter, baby. Butter.
a whole lot better.
Love it.
Better. Okay.
I can't believe it's not butter. Alright. Floor act like a heat sink. You want to put the new seal in?
Yeah, let's pop that out. I just wanted a quick sip of beer. Hang on. Okay. Watch this.
We'll make wacky device.
That might be a little bit big.
It was a little small.
Okay. Now, next thing on
Perfect
these-
size, so it's hitting on the metal that the seal's made out of, but it's not pushing on the rubber so you don't punch through, and it's not too big, so it goes right through easily.
Nice. Okay. Next thing, get
The old rubber out.
the old rubber out. So these are the circlip pliers, which works great on the old rubber. So we're going to take that, we're going to toss it, and we're going to take this, and we're going to toss it. And now we're going to take that and clean it good. But then what we're going to do is we're actually going to install it temporarily in the case half.
Without the O-ring.
Without the O-ring.
Without the O-ring. Because if you do with that O-ring is a one-time use. That's it.
Who's the guest? It's Buck. Buck is here. Buck's been here before.
You should have somebody else that you know on there signing in a couple of minutes. Mr. Drew Matee.
Oh,
Drool, as I call him.
Joel's coming in. Okay.
Yeah, but I've known him a long time. He's a funny guy. I actually sent a 2511 out for him. He's gonna work on trying a porting job.
Okay. Sounds cool. One day we'll port mine, but it's just sitting in the shed right now. Okay. Let's do this. You want to inspect that a little bit before you...
Is that wire wheel?
Fire it up, Bob. Now's a good time to change out the studs there. If you need to pop the studs out, if they're messed up or whatever, now's a great time to be doing that.
A lot of times they get loose.
They wall it out and whatnot.
Yeah, they wall it out, they start walking around.
Yep. Damn it, that's good if you can still find parts, too, for those things.
Oh,
That's alright, that always goes right on the floor. Just want to say I found a 455 teardown video. Oh, great. Some of the comments really raised my hackles, such as idiots out there. Yeah, I know. Actually,
I'm an idiot.
That 455 Rancher video, I had to do a second time. The first time I did it, so I actually had to buy a second saw just to tear down for you guys for that video.
Oh, you should have talked to Drew. He's got a couple and he loves them.
Oh, great. So I think I rebuilt like a dozen of them. I just had that ready for you, but whatever. So I think I probably did a dozen of them before I did that one. I just hadn't done them in a while. And so I think I shot like the whole thing out of focus, and that's why I had to. It was like hours of footage, and I'm just like, oh, come on. So I had to do it a second time before I made that video. Yeah, Stanley, there's a reason I don't work on certain saws. It's just because I can't get parts, you know?
It's typically the only reason, or there's such a POS that it's not worth working on anymore.
Right, it ain't worth working on anymore. Hey, Lost. What's up? Yeah, I work my butt off on the saw, but usually I work my butt off on all these builds. Most of what I do is rebuild things that look like they've been dragged behind a truck. You know, and the other dumb thing about it is, like, these saws, like, if you found one of these, like, online, they'd be like, oh, give me $400. Are you kidding? As nice a shape as this is in. So let's think about what it's actually going to take to get this back to running, right? All this work to get this back to running, a new head, That's $180 right there.
Yeah.
For a new 288 head, which is thank God they make. Probably best to have a new carburetor. That's like 75, among other things.
Yep.
Um,
All the seals, the bearings, the kit. I mean,
gasket
seal
kits. Yep.
yeah, the gasket kit's like $32. The bearings, I think you can get both of them for $12.
Yeah, about $6 a shot. Yeah.
Muffler, because most of the time, most of these mufflers crack badly, and unless you have a good TIG welder, then the muffler's a waste. You're better off throwing it away and picking up a new one. The aftermarket ones are actually pretty decent. And looking at little, nuts and bolts.
Right, you're missing bolts. I mean, this damn thing is missing. It's the starter bolts. There's one starter bolt that might have been OEM on it.
I don't think it is. It's too short.
It's too short. So, all that stuff adds up, and it adds up in a friggin' hurry.
And stuff like brake clean, the sonic cleaner, ultrasonic cleaner.
You can spend $500 on this without too much trouble in just friggin' parts.
Quickly, just in parts.
Just to get it back to flush. So, you say, okay, here's the formula for that. And this is real important, guys. Since we have everybody here, this is real important. I want to keep emphasizing this, and I'm going to hammer this point home over and over and over and over again, is that figure out what a saw is worth in the current cosmetic shape in fully rebuilt condition. Somebody says, oh, I got to have XM whatever bucks for the saw, whatever it is. What is it worth in current shape, but in completely fully rebuilt condition, new rubber, new seals, gaskets, the whole shoot. And then do your math on that. Because this saw, what's this worth? $500, $600 if it's fully rebuilt?
Yeah, like fully restored, like in tip-top shape, I think. $750, $800, better looking than this one is.
Right. So, we're talking like super good looking cosmetic shape, maybe even high top, whatever. Maybe $800 ported, might be a little bit more. So you start playing around with those kind of numbers and say, okay, is it worth it? And somebody wants $400 for a basket case, forget it. $50 maybe. You start saying, okay, $50, $75 maybe.
And people get bent about it.
And people get bent about it, yeah. Jesus is back. Good. Welcome. Sorry,
another thing.
By the way, buddy, I didn't mean to blow you off. Please keep the questions coming. It's very important.
So another thing with, especially the Husky cranks, I can only think of a couple of steel saws that did it. But this hole right here is connected all the way out here, and this is where the bearing rides for the drum. So you don't have to take the whole thing apart to grease it. You can take your little grease gun, give it a little squirt in air, it forces it right out that hole, right into the bearing, and it's good. So it's important to keep that cleaned out. You saw me just squirt it out with some brake clean.
All right.
Jeez, we keep going this way. We're gonna need some more Yingling.
Don't worry, there's more in the fridge.
Oh boy.
Okay, so let's put the oiler in. We can just slap this in, which is nice. This is just
drops right in.
Drops right in, and then 1, 2, 3.
I don't like the power tools. I'm a handy guy. 3. Thank you, sir. Certain.
Nice to be a dental assistant.
Certain things I'm kind of paranoid about. I don't like using power tools on small fasteners because one slip of a finger and it goes impact on it and snaps them off, and then you're spending hours trying to get them out, or drilling them out and rethreading and sleeving, and yeah.
By the way, we're going to go through this oiler. We're going to pull the oiler apart in a minute
seal it
and just make sure it's all good.
Yep.
But the oiler right now is going to provide us with a positive stop. That's the key here. You need a positive stop for the bearing so the bearing can go in and find its home.
Look at that. I mean, perfect seal all the way around.
Good.
Perfect flat. That's beautiful.
Little anti-seize.
Anti-seize. A little bit goes a long way with this.
You think?
And the important thing is there's a little shoulder all the way around is to get it onto that shoulder, because that's what's going to center the bearing as it goes in. Like I said, just a little bit goes a long way. There you go, nice and evenly spread. Got it up over the shoulder all the way around. The anti-seize will burn off on the inside, no worries there. They get washed out.
That on the outside, that goes on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Let's pop this apart.
Got grease on it, yep.
So here's a brand new Nachi. I like to pop the seals out, or in this case, the shields.
Yeah, definitely take the shields out. At least the inside one.
Imagine this is zipping around at 13,000 RPM.
And one of those comes loose, or it's not getting the oil and the fuel oil mixture in there to lubricate the bearing.
What I like to do is I like to tap that
Yeah.
first, just on the outer race, and just make sure that it's pretty good. Really, yeah, there you go. There you go. Now you can give it a visual look and see if it's cocked.
Which it is. Oh, looks pretty good. Might be a touch high in the back. Give that a little tappy. There we go.
Yeah, and you can hear it. You can actually hear the difference.
Nice and square.
So 1/2-inch threaded rod with a good assortment of washers. I like the fender washers a lot.
Fender washers are good. Transference of energy is good. So the more you can dissipate the energy across the case, the better off you are. So it's pulling just on the bearing inside here, but it's dissipating more by pulling it against the oil pump, and that's spreading out all the energy across the case. Because if you pull too hard, you can actually crack right around here. Show off. Go ahead.
You got it. Now make sure it's not cocked.
Feels like it's catching in the back. It is. Just a touch.
So we can just pull it apart. I'll reverse it. That's it. You can hear it. Perfect. Again, you don't want to hit on the race.
No, always hit the outer race.
But rather than using a press here, you can do it nice and slow and easy, just with some threaded rod and some washers. Nothing exciting.
Simple stuff that you probably have laying on the floor of your garage already.
Yep. Yep, good.
Seems like it.
And you can hear that where it stops. Last one, this is Buck. Buck shows up every now and again, usually with a project.
Not always. I've helped you with a lot of yours. It's only the second time
I know. It's Mason that shows up every time with
every
a project.
time with a project. And they're usually your saws that became projects. But that's all right. We still love Mason.
You're going to have to buy a couple Husqvarna and start with a 372. You're looking, yep.
I got a 365, actually a 372 vent saw, one of the firefighter saws
Cool.
at the house. I think all it needs is a coil, but if you want to do a teardown on one,
Let's do it.
it's in pretty good shape.
So now that we have the bearing positioned, which is super important, now that we have the bearing positioned, now we can actually do the crankcase assembly, and then we can work on the oiler.
So
The depth is set essentially. Yeah.
the depth is almost flush, but it's more important because there's a shoulder on here. So setting this flat against the flat inside here where the O-ring is going to go and seal is the most important for getting the correct bearing depth. So it has to be adjusted by this shoulder. So by bolting it in, helps dissipate that energy, because you see the fins all around here. If you pull too hard, you'll literally snap that entire center ring right along those fins, and the case is junk.
And we don't want to junk these cases. These are
No,
nice.
these things are beautiful. Look at that. The entire case, there's just the tiniest bit of scratch. That's everything. And this is a 1984 saw.
And you cannot buy these cases. Husky will not sell you these cases. All right, so I'm up. Here we go. Time to use the matte tooling. So let's do this. I'm going to make sure this is all. I'm going to double, triple check that this is degreased, right? And I generally do the PTO side first on these. As a general rule, most saws you do the PTO side first. Degreased, cleaned out.
You know what? I should have left the oil pump attached.
Why?
So you don't push the bearing.
It won't move it at all.
Yeah?
Zero.
Okay.
There is no lateral force on the bearing with this method, so there's no
very
worry.
well.
No worries at all. Okay. So, clean, flat, degreased. Very important.
Make sure you put the crank in the right way.
I did that.
I did too.
I did that, and it was in front of Mastermind.
Oh.
The first time I met him. Only slightly embarrassing. Ladies and gentlemen, in case you've ever been embarrassed, it doesn't get worse than about that. Okay, so here we go. These are my tools that I've developed. Threaded rod. It's a specific threaded rod. This happens to be M12 by 1.25. And yeah, thread it on. This is fresh off the press here, off the $180,000 Mazak CNC that I have my machinist build. And you back it off, loosey-goosey. This does not have to be tight.
Mm-hmm.
So then,
The sleeve.
we get a sleeve. Look at where my sleeves are. There it is. Hey, look, this will work. I usually sell these as a kit. I got these things all over the place here, so whatever.
So truth be told, I bought one of these kits 2 years ago,
You haven't used it, right?
and I've never used it. I stopped working on saws.
Life. So sleeve goes on. This is considered a large sleeve. And then you have, this is a handle, which is just a carriage bolt. Back it off just a little bit. The handle just sits there nice and gentle. Okay. Next.
Where's that weasel piss?
What?
The weasel piss. There it is.
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here. So, just the teeniest bit. You do not need a lot of oil. You can put a little oil in the crank just to make it more smooth.
Yep.
But since you just degreased the crankcase, you don't want to put oil everywhere. Yes. Don't worry, you can oil this later.
Just to, again, a little bit goes a long way.
So, rod, that's thread specific, sleeve, handle, nut and washer. Now you're ready to pull this in if you have your ratchet. So, this is a way better system than Husky. This is just far easier to use, and it only puts pressure on the inner race of the bearing, not the outer race. So there is zero lateral force on the bearing. So, as you go, now the handle leaves this hand free to, actually, here, let's do this.
Crank.
To support the crank. And what you don't want
I'm
to do
going to say you're catching it on the rod. It's going to have to come back.
Yeah, you messed me all up here, Buck.
It's my fault. I'm the dummy again.
There you go. So, yeah, don't even need to hold it tight, just nice and loosey-goosey. This just gently comes all the way in. So your hand is free over here to guide that connecting rod and make sure you don't get it stuck like Buck was getting it. But whatever.
All right, Tom.
You go nice and easy. It doesn't take lots of pressure. And as soon as it stops, you'll know. Yeah. That's it. So you go, that's it, done. You don't need to do any further than that. Now, you can actually leave this tight if you want. You don't have to. Craig Timmons likes to leave this all assembled and then get the cases assembled and then back it off. Yeah. So, what do you want to do?
Doesn't matter. Either way.
I just remove it just to get it out of the way physically, but you can kind of do it either way. Again, all this stuff is loosey-goosey, so it should not be hard to put on or take off. Sleeve, handle. But this makes things 1,000 times easier than having to heat something up and cool something down here and potentially wreck something. You really don't want to do that. Does it get any easier than that? Nope.
Butter.
Butter.
Butter. Oh, that's beautiful.
So, now we get the other. Now, before we get the other case have and just slap it together, we need the gasket, we need the goop, we need to degrease it, all that stuff. So I'm going to put this rod back for the moment. We'll need the large sleeve for the other side. We will not need that handle. All right, those go. So if anybody wants these tools, I do sell the kit. Please shoot me an email. I've sold now probably over 400 kits worldwide. It's been a tremendous success, and I've had lots and lots and lots of interest, and I've met all kinds of wonderful people through it. It's been hugely fun.
Not everybody's wonderful. I'm not wonderful.
Right, not everybody was like the most amazing person on the planet, but
I'm not wonderful.
Buck's plenty wonderful.
That's what my mom says. You did them special. Perfect.
So we know that's good. Let's get the other side. Case half. Where'd that go?
It's over here cooling off.
Okay. So we know that this is clean and degreased.
Wipe down this one.
We're going to double wipe down that one. And we also need our... I brought out the Loctite here somewhere. I think that was... Did I? Did I bring that forward?
It was out here. So just in case that little splash of WD-40
right, you can hit it.
dripped, I'm just going to wipe it down again because a little brake clean never really hurt anybody. Also helps identify any cuts or slivers in your fingers.
Right, if you want paper cuts, it'll show you where they are.
Look, brother up! So we're done with this guy. This guy can go for a ride.
Yep, let's clean up while we're doing stuff. Where did the Loctite go? Not in here. No.
You had a little one.
Right, I had a little one. It was here somewhere.
What'd you do with it, Matt?
I really don't know. Which is at least mildly embarrassing. Alright, let's look. Out of the way. Generally if you're losing things, it's time to clean up.
Yeah, I was going to say, I try to put tools away as I go. But my bench had a big overhang, and I had a whole bunch of magnets. So as soon as I use something like this, I just reach up and slap it on the magnet, and it stayed. Mm-hmm. And it was right there, so everything was right in hands away, so the bench was clean and clear. Jeez, Matt, you have one beer and you lose everything.
Oh, my God.
There it is. You put it back. Is that the gel or is that the lube? Or the...
Don't think this is the one, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's blue.
Okay. Blue Loctite. Let's hit this blue Loctite just a little bit here.
Now, don't fill those holes because they're blind taps. And if you fill that hole up with Loctite or oil or anything else and you start threading the screw in, you'll build hydraulic pressure behind the screw and it'll start getting really tight to lock in, and it'll blow out the side of the case or blow out the bottom of the blind tap and your case is ruined. So you don't want to fill those, just a dab will do you.
So what I do, 1184. Should have asked, did you want to use 518 or 1184? Does it really matter?
I usually use the 1183.
Okay,
Same stuff. Just it's white.
got it. So I'll actually do I actually haven't ordered it to this. I actually do this side first because I want it to tack while I'm doing this side, because I'm going to put the gasket on that side. So I would call this the passenger side, even though technically it feels like the passenger
That's
side.
the driver's side.
I know it is, but it just really feels like the
driver's side.
I don't know why. I don't know why.
You got your Larry and your Ralph confused, or what?
What do you think?
Good enough for me. This back shelf doesn't really matter. It's just there for support.
Don't need it at all.
In that way, they don't have to machine two separate heights. They just make a tenth of a cent gasket the whole length.
Yeah, this. Fortunately, this actually rotates. Rotates out of the way.
If your crank doesn't rotate when you press it into the bearing, there's usually an issue. Not always. Sometimes it's just
something's wrong.
Something snug, but most of the time you did something wrong. And what's real common is when people put two cases together, they get, when they split them like this, they get a little overzealous when they're cleaning them, especially with little Scotch-Brite Whizzy wheels, and take off too much material. And then when they slap it back together with the new gasket and a little bit of goop, the crank won't spin because they took off too much material. And then it's NFG.
Nice.
No flipping good. Which we don't want to be an NFG.
One issue that I had, which was interesting, was hit those and then do it. The I actually had a crank that expanded on the pin. The crank actually went this way on the pin, and I put everything together and it wouldn't spin. I'm like, what the heck? Pulled it back apart, put it back together, still wouldn't spin. What the heck? Turns out this was too wide. Perfect.
Those guys are tight. I like it.
So now that's had opportunity to tack pretty good on that side. You get your Loctite in there. Did we put Loctite in the back? I forgot.
No, we did not.
So now that's going to stick there pretty good. Yeah.
Oh, just dip. Nope, you got some.
So that's tacked, and that's going to stick. That's going to be perfect. Now you want to hit that with a little WD or no?
Oh, yeah.
Just the slightest bit of oil right there is... Where'd it go?
Put it.
That's all right.
Oh, I do with a paper towel.
A little bit of oil on the crank, if you like.
I like.
Okay.
Lube is good. If you have any questions about that, just ask the wife. Or your significant other. We're not.
Or somebody else's wife.
Yeah. Ask anybody.
Or the other girlfriend.
Ask anybody.
Okay. So, same deal here. I'm going to take flywheel side rod. Put that on there. Now, super important on this is getting these silly positioning pins to line up. If you got it, you're good. Don't got it, you got trouble.
And you will know.
Right. Why is this not going together right? So, this is a smaller rod physically. It's a 5/8 rod. This is a 3/4 inch sleeve, but it doesn't matter. Even though it's loosey-goosey on here, it don't matter a hoot. It'll work perfect anyway. So a lot of people miss. So, you have a large bearing. You need the large sleeve. You put the small sleeve on here, which I do have, and is included in the kit, but if you put the small sleeve on here, you're going to splay it out on that crank. You don't want to do that.
Yes. Doing good bendy flexing things.
Now I need a handle. I have it here somewhere. There we go. Take the handle. Put it down. Back it off just a little bit. Make sure it's, again, loosey-goosey. Then, if anybody has any questions, they can ask questions. I'll try to answer here. He's an artist user. Yeah, I try to share as much as I can, digging. If I'm not sharing something, just let me know.
What's that old adage? The only dumb question is the one unasked.
Mm-hmm. Well, so actually, you bring up a good point with the $900 to rebuild saws or whatever it is. I have thought for a long time that the guys that are doing these port jobs are probably getting paid too little, because the amount of work that it takes to do a port job and the amount of risk
And the expertise required,
yes,
the
is
science
huge.
involved, the math involved, everything else.
The downside is that it's probably not worth that amount of money. Okay, so
A good example is like RC go-karts, little gas two-stroke RC go-karts. So you figure stock head for them is $100. They pay $300 for a ported head, but that ported head is nowhere close to the amount of porting that goes into a basic chainsaw porting. It's looking good, dude.
So, once this is, you got, I usually do like a little bit of this back and forth just to make sure that the positioning pins are good. Another thing you can do is put the bolts in. I'll let you finish it, and that way you can feel how it finishes. That's it.
Yep. Done, sir, done.
Go. So yeah, I think the guys that are charging to build saws, I think they're getting too little for the amount of work they actually do and the amount of risk to them and their reputations and the saws and all that other stuff. The thing is, it's a chainsaw. I mean, it's only worth so many dollars, kind of no matter what. So that's where the push-pull comes in, and I'm not sure how to reconcile that.
So, like for me, when I did saws, I never did it to make money. I always did it as long as I broke even. That's all I cared about. And to be honest, I lost my shirt on a lot.
I'm not sure I've made money yet.
I don't think I've ever actually made a profit on a saw, but I only did it for a hobby. I did it because it was fun. And if you're thinking you're going to make money rebuilding saws,
Best of luck to you.
you're sadly mistaken.
I think the way to make money in chainsaws is by parts. If you're selling parts, you have to know what you're doing. That's just the way it goes. You want to give these a good like brake clean or something. I don't know. Is this the one for the rear too?
Yeah.
Do that.
Where's your straw? Oh, there it is. Found it.
And we need another one, right?
Oh, this has got plenty in it.
No, the bolts.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of where I fall on that, and I think it's a great topic, and I think anybody that's kind of poo-pooing what people are charging, you got to be real careful with that, because I think these guys are charging, by and large, I think they're charging. I think $300 for a port job is too little. Now $900 might be a little too much, but
again, it goes back to the quality. I mean, it goes back just like I was saying about the little RC cars. They did a very, very basic opening of the intake, a little touch on the exhaust. They never touched the transfers, anything else, and they charged a $200 premium for what you got. And it wasn't worth it.
you think I got bolts? Oh my God, dude, we got bolts. You want bolts? Here's a bolt. Alrighty.
Is this the gel? Yeah, that's the gel.
Yeah, that's 518. That's anaerobic. You sure you want that?
Flange too? No. I thought it was the plain 518. Or the plain red gel.
There's red if you want it. Or you can just throw some 1184 on there.
That'll work too.
Remember, these are already Loctited.
Oh, that's right. I'm a dummy.
So, you don't necessarily need whatever on there. Night digging. Self-employment in any field is brutal. Yep. I'll have to find the rest of it later. I'm a horse owner. Yeah, put them away. No problem.
Hey, burner.
See, I think $300 is a little light. I think maybe $1,000 for a port job is probably a little much, depending on what you're getting. If you're getting $1,000 port job and it's really a $300 port job, then yeah, that's probably a little heavy. I think the truth lies somewhere in the middle.
The truth lies in what the quality of the port job, the quality of the work, and the extent of it.
I don't know what Mastermind charges right now, but it's probably 400.
3/8 ratchet. Disregard. Believe my last.
So I don't know what he charges right now. My guess would be somewhere in the $350 to $400 range, possibly including return shipping. But if he's charging that, and other guys are charging $900, then why would you have somebody else? I don't know. Maybe you just want somebody with a certain reputation to do your work. There's all kinds of thoughts on it.
You want to run these two just to seal it or no?
I'd put the dog on right now because on a 394 you can't do that.
Yeah.
But on a 288, 181, yeah, you can. Take care, Craig. Thanks so much. Anybody wants to support the channel, they can email me about crank tools, matio5@aol.com. Get rid of the extra ampersands. And if anybody wants crank tools, they just email me like that. Or you can use that link that Craig just posted for HL Supply. If you need parts, if you need crank OEM or aftermarket parts, HL Supply is a great place to buy from. I get stuff from them all the time. So If you could click on that link, basically it tracks you for like a month, and anything that you buy, I get credit for, and I appreciate it. And no, I'm not getting rich off of it. Oh God, that's nice, huh? Look at that. Buck, did you feel this crank yet? Woohoo! I think you're going to be happy. Okay. So while he's over there, I don't know what he's doing, but I forget. That's the problem with these darn things. I have a tendency to forget how I took it apart, how I put it back together. I just don't know. Right, Mastermind only works on new saws unless you're an existing customer and you beg him. And he's gotten to that point where he can just kind of do whatever he wants in that regard, and more power to him for that. I think he's booked so many months out. I mean, it was just pointless for him to. It was either he had to increase his prices ridiculously, or make a change, and I think that was the direction he ended up going. Ooh. I need a stronger screwdriver.
Si, senor.
Yes. So I'm just taking out the two screws here. That hold in the color. And this.
Oh, you didn't dump that entire cover in, did you?
Yep. Why?
I sure did, with all the bolts and everything. Hey, thanks, buddy. I go fishing in the hot water.
What are you going to do?
Put the other bolt in.
Oh, you want actually, I might have another bolt.
Oh, that's even better. Save my fingers, because that...
Is it in here or no?
Here works good. Nope. Wrong ones.
Don't worry, I have another bolt. Hang on a second. Measure. How many millimeters is it?
A couple more and a few.
Okay, great. I said measure it, damn it. You don't listen me!
I'll tell one.
Oh, God. You're going to make me feel bad about myself. Don't do that. Alright, here we go. How about AV mounts? You want AV mounts?
No, I'm good.
Okay, just checking. Alright, we're not there. What did you got? The neural that one? That one?
No. That's for the carburetor.
Hang on, carburetor. I know. Okay. Up there.
Flux capacitor goes.
M5 friggin' M5 Allen long. There.
Oh, that's how we make a mess.
And if I don't got it there, it's probably still over here somewhere. In here, could be. Those are carburetor bolts. Those are dog bolts. That's a carburetor bolt. Those are dog bolts.
What am I... Why did you hand me this?
Something's wrong. Yeah, this goes back in here, actually.
You're a blankety blank hole, you know that?
What's the measurement?
60.
69. I thought I could swear I had those partitioned out like that, but hang on. There's more crap in here.
Yes. I concur.
That I don't know what to do with, so.
Or I could just go, you know, take it out of the ultrasonic
I
machine.
know. It's just, in case you're looking for a muffler.
Oh,
That's a
it's
big enough
beautiful.
opening.
Beautiful.
How's it not in there? 288 M5s, 55 millimeter. Oh shoot, 55 millimeter. Are you sure? You measure it wrong? It's 55 millimeter, Buck. I got 1,000 of them right here. I got it.
Oh, okay. So do I.
So do you. 50. It's 55 millimeter.
60. Measured it from the outside.
You don't measure it from the outside. You measure the length. All right, fine. I'll take mine back. Mine's at 55. Typical guy issue. You're overestimating. Always got guy problems.
Hey,
well-
my whole life.
Hey, Mega, what's going on, man? You made it. So let's see. So we've got Tim. You're from Georgia, right? So Tim, we have Georgia. Will's Garage. He's actually here in Connecticut. Mega Dirty Birdie is in New Zealand.
Oh, cool. Hey, kiwis are awesome. I spent some time with some kiwis overseas.
Who else is in here? Stanley Brand's in Ohio. Everybody give me a shout out. Tell me where you're from. Tell Buck where you're from. Well, more accurately.
Dog bolts in.
Stephen Williams, hi from France. Wow.
No,
That's cool.
no parlez-vous français. No parlez-vous.
You sure that's not upside down?
No, because then the saw would fall over. You want one of these? You want one of these? You want a fresh one?
I want a fresh one. Yeah, I know. All right. So I was taking this apart, right?
Oh, yeah.
I was doing something that might have been useful at some point. All right. So this. Stupid. Oh, it does move. Okay.
Yep.
So this just should slide right out, but it doesn't want to typically. So it's just an aluminum plug. So I tried to get it kind of twisted. There we go.
I am doing prep work.
You look like you're doing Is it just me, or does that belong in the other end? Should be a double washer here.
2 washers there.
And there are.
There it is.
Found it.
Hey, there's the other Loctite.
You found it? Yeah. I put it in the wrong spot. I'm a ding dong. Somebody. Douglas Cole. Tennessee. Okay. Douglas Cole, welcome. I don't think I've seen you before. The more questions everybody asks, the more fun we have, so please, by all means, you know, kind of the whole idea of me doing this is not for my own edification, because I could care less, and because Buck hears me talk all the time.
You do talk a lot.
Yeah. As much as I like hearing myself talk, I don't necessarily need to, you know what I mean? Just kind of clean this out as good as possible. That way everything kind of flows and moves proper.
It doesn't get rusted up and bound up when it sits.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm simply putting a little heat tape underneath where the muffler goes. Since this is in such good condition, I want to try to preserve the paint as long as possible.
Who told you could use my heat tape?
You told me anything I needed, just grab it. I took that literally. How do you like that? How do you like me now?
Okay, fine. I'll give you a little heat tape.
How much you want? My brother's got rolls of it.
So for persons only who just got here, Buck is here, and Buck I met how many years ago now?
3 or 4 at least online.
We met for the first time at the Connecticut get-together,
Yes.
if I remember right.
In person. Yep.
In person. And been kind of hanging out ever since.
Terrorizing each other.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I thought these washers go closer to this thing.
One on each side.
No, it wasn't one. The two of them are always together. I thought they were closer here than there. Maybe it doesn't really matter. They're always together. I've always seen them together every time I pull something apart. But I thought they were there at that end, not at this end. But in this pump, they were at that end. I'm going to put it back together the way that it was. The way that it came apart, rather. And this should just kind of, slide in kind of like that. I wonder. Hang on. Let's get this aluminum piece out of here, because I don't need that yet. Don't necessarily need the aluminum piece yet. That's very pretty looking, Buck.
It actually does make a difference. I also, on every saw I ever did, I always did the heat tape on the above the muffler underneath the plastic on top to keep the plastic from melting. And it actually made a huge difference. It helped out immensely.
Okay.
Some people use the gold stuff. The aluminum heat tape's just fine.
Is gold stuff?
Yeah, there's gold.
Really?
Yeah, it's more like brass based and not gold based, but still works.
Okay, so this plunger here needs to go far enough in that you can get, yeah, there you go, this screw back to hold it in. And of course it doesn't really want to, but too bad.
It does what it's told.
Radiant heat.
Oh.
All right. Next thing is there was a part here.
Typically, when I hear little ticking sounds, it's, you know, in the past it hasn't been good. Just saying.
Got it. Okay. I'm missing a very important part here.
What'd you lose?
Hopefully it's on the ground, but
What did you lose?
it's the adjuster part of that.
Oh, that's always good.
It's here somewhere.
How much you want to bet it got picked up in here?
Yeah, it might have. Yep, there it is. Never to be found again. Yeah, it doesn't need that. Okay, so this has a little rubber O-ring on it, and of course, often those are screwed up, but this one's not. So great.
See what happens when you try to be a hero with all your fancy bolts?
Fancy bolts and things that I spent a jillion dollars on in hours and yeah, all that stuff. Yeah, sure.
These mine are yours.
Those are mine. You want them? Take them.
What am I going to do with them?
I don't know.
Crazy?
You want them? Take
It's
them.
out of control.
Okay.
Wow, look at these questions.
Yeah, once some of these guys get talking, you know, it's kind of hard to stop them. There. That's set. That's good.
We're going to get a poppity pop pop tonight.
We might.
It is possible. It's no guarantee.
We might. We're going to get the seals in first.
Sillier things have happened.
Yep.
And have not happened.
So, we need a rubber O-ring, we need a seal, and we need an X-ring, right? Right. Good.
Yes.
Okay, everybody's excited for that. So you have the seal there. Oh, I've got something for you.
Oh yeah, what's that? Oh, you got the bellows.
I do.
Oh, dude, you're the man.
I always seem to have to order more of them damn things. All right. So somewhere in here we have the seals. Can I bring those out? I'm gonna hit the restroom. I'll be right back.
Matt's going to tinkle. Don't forget to flush. Let's see. Is it night over there? Yes, it is 1700 here. 1703 to be exact. Ken's small engine repair, catching the tail end of this. Yeah, kind of. We're doing a little bit. I'm not family. I'm Buck. I think, actually, I used to do quite a bit of business with you a couple of years ago. But I kind of fallen off doing chainsaws this year. So, as previously stated, I'm just getting some heat tape laid down to help protect the saw because it is in such good shape. But it's something that I always do just because I believe it works. What'd you lose besides your mind?
This we don't need anymore, right? Bolts and whatnot.
Don't think so. Not at the moment.
So I need to find a seal.
Ken's small engine is on too.
Oh, good. So Kenny is actually in Trumbull.
Yeah. I used to buy a whole bunch of stuff from him.
So Kenny was on Steve's Small Engine Saloon the other night.
Yeah.
And Kenny, he was like, "Oh, you gotta, check out Matt Olson." He's like, I think he used the word royalty. I'm like, okay. And Steve's like, not to be a jerk, but I don't know who you're talking about. I'm like, jerk.
Did he say it on purpose, or did he really have?
No,
a
I don't
brain
think he
fart?
didn't. I don't think he knew who I was. Just thought it was funny. It's okay. Not everybody knows who I am. That's fine.
Nobody will remember your name. There we go. So, this little heat tape. Nothing, special, nothing crazy, but helps protect the paint, dissipate some of that heat.
Cool.
Reflectology, whatever.
It's up and over here.
Yeah, I just gotta trim it off.
Okay.
Nothing.
This is the important stuff for the day. These are. Oh no. Don't lose it down in there.
There it is.
Good. Okay, good. So, material certification, USAsealing.com. I think you can get these at McMaster Car, but these are the O-rings that go on the oiler here. And rather than buying them from Husky at $5 a piece,
Yeah.
you can get the whole bag for like $8 of tons of these. So if you're building 288s, you want these. Their size 1.6 by 37.1, material is 70 short A-bone end, which is nitrile. Okay. But 1.6 and 37.1, that's what you're looking for. I think 37.1 is the ID, and 1.6 is the actual, not circumference, but the diameter of the rubber. So, I'm going to bring that out. That's important. So, that goes on just like this. Done. Beautiful. What are you doing?
I'm looking. Stop yelling at me.
No. Okay. Next thing. These are quad rings. So, if you buy them from Husky, again, $4 or $5 a shot, which is stupid. You can get an entire bag for like $8. So here's the OEM Husky one, part number 501-288501. It's a quad ring. It goes on this little tabby thing on the oiler. But why would you ever do that to yourself? So, turns out these things are absolutely common parts. This is not proprietary in any way. So, 400-006 Quattro Seal. Customer partner MC 006N70Q. Yeah. And I get these at McMaster Car. So 400-006 Quattro Seal. 100 per bag. There's no point in spending $4 on the OEM part. This way you have a bunch of them, and you always got stuff when you need it. Because every time you go for something, you get the idea.
Mm-hmm. Just point it's got a little tight spot. I see you put a little weasel piss in there.
Yeah. Good.
So
So,
put some of this in there. No, that'll hold it.
so this is brand new rubber. You don't need any goop on it if you get brand new rubber. Now, if we're using old rubber for the oil line, which really is not a problem, you still need to put a little bit of goop on this, my opinion.
Are we using the old one?
Yeah. Well, I don't. Do you have a new one?
I thought I did, but I don't.
So then we're using another one.
Yeah, it's like brand new anyways.
So here's how I do that then. I put a little bit of brake clean here. That way that is degreased. Then, and he's going to clean that with the brake cleaner too. Then, a little bit of 1184 on here. Don't need tons. What's he doing?
I'm making a mess, Matthew. I'm making a mess.
Fine.
It's what I do best. Break stuff, make a mess.
Good. That's gooped. Okay. Loctite. We'll put the Loctite on for the screws here.
That's the dead one. Didn't I give you the good one?
What, you lost a good one already?
I found a good one.
It's supposed to make me look bad in front of my friends.
Yeah, well, what you do with the good one?
I didn't touch it. You're the one. Here it is. Sweet.
There you go. Throw that one away.
Fine.
Stop getting fuddled.
It was almost good.
It was almost right.
Okay. We got the goop on there. Put the goop on the case too if you want.
Yes, please.
Go ahead.
It's like playing doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Yeah. Well, gravity sometimes helps get it in the right spot. And it just likes to do that just because it's a pain in the neck. Sometimes you can hold it down there for a minute and then, definitely we're missing something. Hang on.
The seal.
Yes.
We need the seal.
We're almost there. So, next, now we get our Loctite 518 out and use this. And we need the seal. Where's the seal? Nice part about this seal, you can literally just tap it in here. Loctite 518 around here. That spring's in there, okay. Now we get the tippity tap.
Nice.
Should be able just to tap this on in. And this goes down to flush. It's fine. Yep. Now that's cool. What's really cool is having the right tool for this, and you can use the Coke can trick for this, but you could also use the correct tool. So this happens to be the Husky seal installer. And for those people that want the actual part number, I've got a brand new one right here. Part number 502-50201. 502-500-5201. Very, very cool tool. Very inexpensive. Get them from HL Supply. Okay.
And very easy to use.
Very easy to use. So take this. And essentially this tool is good for pretty much anything with a 6203 bearing. So this ensures that the seal goes over this lip and it doesn't pucker. Okay, we've got goops, we got goops, we got goops. New rubber, new rubber. We are ready to rock.
We need bolty bolts.
Bolty bolts?
Bolty bolts. Where'd you put the bolty bolts?
You put them there.
I know I did.
You wanna do this 518 on the actual O-ring. You can put 518
You
on
know
the
what? It
O-ring.
wouldn't hurt.
Okay.
I'd rather err on the side of being too airtight than not enough.
You can do this. You don't necessarily need to, but a little bit of.
That'll also help lubricate it going in.
Yep. So Loctite 518 anaerobic sealer essentially acts like grease right up until it dries, but it only dries under anaerobic conditions. So
you have to remove oxygen from it.
Yep. You can theoretically use tons of this stuff and it won't cure unless it actually is in a sealed environment, I guess.
Looks good to me.
Nice and gentle, very gentle down. I'll let Buck do that. Just got done building 084, very good.
084.
Sorry, what did I miss, guys? No oil on the O-ring. Doesn't. We just used
The anaerobic. Yeah.
anaerobic. Yeah,
oil.
What did I miss? Sorry. William Prophet made it. What's going on, man? I've been trying to make your lives, but I can't always make it, you know?
Nice and snug, but don't murder them, because they will strip out and or break very easily.
So while we're over here on this particular side, now you can pull this
I'm going
out.
to say, get that guy out there.
This just comes right out, and now that's exactly in the right spot it needs to be.
Beautiful.
Okay. Back over there. If you guys don't have the fitting sleeves, man, they are. I've used the Coke can trick that I developed for years, and there are other guys that developed something similar. They actually use. I heard one guy actually use 35 millimeter film.
Yes.
Which you can do, but the fitting sleeves just make things easier. So get them from HL Supply.
I use beer cans.
I know.
There's usually a couple lying around when I'm working on the saw.
Coke cans, beer cans, whatever.
Again, unofficial sponsor.
Okay. One day we'll have a viral video and we'll actually have
Right?
some
They'd be
type
like,
of sponsorship.
they'd be like, look at these two clowns. We're not sponsoring
Couple
them.
of ding dongs making it. Matt, you dropped the flywheel side bearing in with heat. Why not drive the bearing in with the same way? I could. You could.
I just wanted to show different ways of doing it.
Yeah, it's more like showing different ways to do it. It's kind of like what you feel like. So, like, if I felt like doing it the other way, I could. And I often do it cold. The nice thing about doing it cold is there's no danger. Like, you're not in danger of blowing something up with the torch. I got gasoline in here, you know, in the basement.
Yeah, but you got the sissy brake clean, so.
I got the sissy brake clean, so don't worry about it quite as much. Okay. We need that.
The clip for that.
Yeah.
So, these chain adjusters, there's a little knurl right here, and from the factory way back in 1984, they used to put a little piece of rubber around it, and obviously that rotted out. So this just flops around. If you're trying to loosen the chain, the screw just backs out. So you just drop a little clip in there.
Now these clips actually need to be. I don't have the exact right size, so I modify them to get them to be right.
You clip them,
Yeah, I kind of
grind them out a little bit.
grind them out just a little bit. Yeah. I'll show you guys in a second what I'm doing.
Throwing parts pieces on the floor.
I've used this so much I almost don't have flats on there anymore. That's how much that's being used. That's crazy. I just grind it down so I get a little more depth. More than anything. And as standard size as these are, they are not actually standard size, which is weird. That might actually work just fine. Try that, see if it does.
All right. So, you probably can't see it, but just cleaned up the clip a little bit and just a touch.
And I got like an E-clip assortment, and I've tried buying certain size E-clips. Oh.
Yay!
That worked better than you'd expect.
Clipped right in. Almost like it belongs or
I think
something.
it belongs there. So now it won't rot out, like ever. And it'll hold this that way. Much better.
Oh boy.
This part, which is here.
Yep. Just a little break it clean.
We can also put the clutch and everything on here too. We don't really. Cool.
It's almost like you know what you're doing, Matt.
Almost.
Not quite, but almost.
Twice. Every time I think I've got this down, something throws me for a friggin' loop. Yep. It's amazing. All right, so you gonna grab the tank?
No, I haven't even cleaned the tank yet.
Clean.
Grab you the clutch.
Okay, grab the clutch. Let's look at this. We got this other side here. We're gonna do the seal anyway. So here's what I use. Another Q-tip. Some brake cleaner to make darn sure this surface is good.
Well, I'll let you figure this one out while I'm cleaning.
Okay.
Yay, vibrations.
I need the what the? That is weird. I need the black thing, the black piece, and the washer underneath it.
I'm gonna do what I should have done 2.5 hours ago. Because that water is hot.
It is warm. Where's the other seal? Put this on. There you go. So this does have a lip on it also. It's not quite as much, but still, I will put the seal down. And so this one's a little bit of a different animal here because you got to put this down to exactly the right depth. So let's do some measurements. It's about a 5mm seal, maybe a little bit more. And there's a certain depth here that we need, so. .3, so it's about like 9.5mm deep. So you really don't want to go like 4mm is good. Maybe just shy of 4mm, that type of thing. So same thing here with the cup can trick. You can actually use this sleeve also. So same deal. Make sure the spring is in there, and use your Loctite 518 on the outside. So now what I'm what I'm actually going to use here, you can use a bunch of stuff here to drive this seal in. I'm actually going to use as my large sleeve. Piece of metal that fits over, essentially. Just drive it home. You can't just drive it. You have to drive it to a particular measurement. So I need it like 4 millimeters down, but not more. 3.19, 3.24. I can go a little further. .90, 3.6. 3.6 is probably pretty good. Maybe a little further. 3.6. This is one side. So we're a little off kilter here. And you measure. 3.28. 3.52. That comes out. The other thing you can look at is the lip all the way around and make sure that it's even all the way around. And that's pretty darn close visually. 3.8, 3.7, 3.78, 3.67. So plus or minus a tenth of a millimeter. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so that's good there. Let's take the Q-tip and run around and make sure there's no debris in here that we don't need. Perfect. So there's a lip there. You want it just below the lip, and you got it. Okay. Next. So seals are installed. Oiler's installed. Good.
Ow! Sucks. The deeper you go, the hotter it gets.
I'm sorry. Was this? No, it wasn't. Where's the pin bearing? I have one in case. I actually have one right here.
Hold on, you need that rubber gasket.
Rubber gasket?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Be a whole lot more fun without it. there a V-ring type thing on this one? There is a V-ring type thing on this one. There you go. Okay. There's a rubber gasket there.
Head ski bolt skis.
You want me to lubricate this?
I would.
Okay. I've got the tool for it. The rim's good, so no issue there. I got the luber right here. That's it.
Yay for that little goofy hole. I usually put a little underneath the yeah. I usually lube inside there, inside the
Grease?
oil pump dry shaft. Yeah, underneath it.
Whatever you want. Grease it up. Mobile One synthetic grease. Expensive stuff. Only the best for buck, you know.
Surprised you didn't pee on it and tell me it was good.
It's good, I swear.
And just a touch more lube on top of this.
Beauty. What's the questions?
Jeez, there's a lot of them.
I didn't see Drew show up.
Yeah,
Drew showed up?
said he was coming. I didn't see him show up yet. Goober.
Big jerk. Okay. What do you want to do next? Alright, so let's get the tank on here, man.
Well, I gotta go finish cleaning it.
I'll put the flywheel on then.
Yeah, you do flywheel stuff.
Okay.
Go finish cleaning it. You got me all...
I know, you're all flustered over there. Don't want him hot and bothered. That's not good. Alright. The flywheel cleans up so nice. It really does. Dick Small Engines, what's going on? Just so everybody knows, like, Mr. Olson is either my brother or my grandfather. It's just too weird for me. Matt is fine. Or Dr. Olson or Dr. Matt. Dr. Olson gets a little weird because Dr. Olson was my father for so long, you know. I don't want to impact it on. That's not the idea. So we're going to put some nylon rope in here, and then I'm going to use torque wrench Make sure this nut is back off. You're good. So Dr. Matt Olson is fine, right? Just Dr. Matt. Dr. Matt. Or Matt. I'm fine with it. I take off my coat, I turn back into regular old Matt, you know? Okay, we got the seals in. Put the pawls back on. That'd be a good idea, right? Here we go. So a homeless guy with a beard. Where did he? Oh, he's in the back cleaning something.
Don't screw it up.
It's fine.
Don't screw it up.
I know. Actually, the biggest issue is here like losing something. You lose like one of these little parts, and then we have to go to my stash. You know, that starts to get expensive.
For me, yes, it does. Why do you charge 3 times what Husqvarna charges for a bolt?
Because
I never understood this.
Because I have it here.
Oh, supply and demand. Oh, that's how we're gonna play this game, huh?
The game is simple. I win. If you want to win, don't play. That was war games, wasn't it? The only way to win is not to play, right? Go, Matthew Broderick. Sits down. Ow. Perfect. Told you it'd be perfect. For really picky people like Buck. You know.
I am picky. I'm sorry. I like perfection.
I don't know what you're doing here then.
I haven't figured it out yet either, but I'm here.
Crayons? AHM5 says, I saw a homeless guy with a beard. Where did he go? Where's the Yingling? Right here.
Homeless guy with a beard.
We are almost. I was going to say we're almost done, but we're not almost done, are we?
Yeah, we're almost nowhere close to done. We're almost ready to make it look like a chainsaw or something.
You know what we should do? We're gonna do these out. So, because I already have, I have a tally started.
Oh yeah, start tallying up what I owe you on this thing.
We're gonna
Good God. You realize I'm on a fixed income, right?
we're gonna tally things here. Well, one of mine that we used bearings. That was it, right?
Bearings, a bolt. I had the seals. The bellows.
Bearings, bellows, bolt, muffler.
Muffler. The muffler.
Haven't
For the
gotten there yet.
for those French type folk, the muffler.
Muffler.
Obviously, I don't speak French.
All right, we're gonna put that on the side. But always nice to tally stuff, like especially when Buck is around. Okay, here we go.
Oh, ouch!
All right, you know what we should do? We should put the tank on. I think that's a good idea.
Make it look like a chainsaw.
And while you are lining that up, I will maneuver things so that they are in better position here. Start putting things away. I might have a new fuel line. Which you might want. Yeah, why don't you go in there and pull that out?
Oh, he missed it.
I don't know if I have a new fuel line, but I usually do.
Not in bad shape, but it's not pristine.
I think that fuel line I actually have new of, but I want to finding it. Is that it?
Yep.
Heck.
It's either that or a steel one.
I'll be right back. No, I didn't.
Who we got here? Homeless guy with a beard. That's hide your crayons. Okay. Mm-hmm. I don't know what anybody told you, but purple does not taste like grape. Just saying. I'm not an expert, but I do have experience in these things. And purple does not taste like grape. This is now the fun part of fishing the fuel line. Itty bitty hole. Catch up, Junior. Oh boy. I can only guess who that is. Sounds like some incompetent guy from Arizona who couldn't build a saw if his life depended on it. But that's just me. I'm not sure. I don't know for sure.
You done yet?
It sure looks an awful lot like a steel fuel line.
Yeah, well, it is a proprietary line, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and you might want to measure. I got a new fuel. You might want to measure. Get a few. See.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you got the oversized ones.
Yes,
Okay.
but
No. Gotcha.
hang on. If you want the oversized, maybe they might be in here. They might not be. I have a few of them, but they are not cheap.
No. No, they are not. This I know.
They might be in my 394 box instead
That's
of
all right.
in here.
Not worried about it.
But let me check. Hang
I think Drew's on Mr. Matee
on.
because
Tell him to go away.
somebody's making fun of me and saying I eat crayons and stuff like that.
Oh, is that the crayon eating dude?
Yeah, I think that's Drew.
What kind of stuff that I have, Buck? Lordy be. Just don't have what you need. I have most of what you need, but not like.
I didn't see it, but what saw is this? And you're telling me to catch up, Junior? Come on. Or as Tim Freeman said, 288, read the title. See? Noted.
Read the friggin' title, dude. Come
Noted.
on. That's good. All right, so too bad. You get one of these.
That's fine.
Sorry.
And I'll put it
What I do have, instead of that little stupid handle,
Yeah, the little guy that's gonna break fingers.
the next question is going to be, do you want to do a case deck on this? Or do you want to check the squish and we can send it down to Rattler? Yeah, you might want to measure the diameter there because you might have to drill that hole out for that particular.
The chance of me getting that through is slim to none. Oh, I wonder who this is. Oh, it's Jones. I'll catch up with Jones later.
I think the bigger one goes in the tank.
It does,
But
but you can't push the bigger one through.
so right, what we have to do is measure this diameter and then get a drill bit and do something slightly smaller. Because I think that's the updated line. And let me see. Let me make sure that's the only line that I have. Because if I have the other, there are a couple of lines, but
Yeah, it's 8.5.
and you can change that to, instead of millimeters to fractional, and then we can get a drill bit that's close and drill it out. And I hate drilling tanks out, but
Looking at somewhere around like 21/64, I think.
so third from the bottom. One, yeah. To the right, just a little bit. There, use that.
This
side.
guy?
Yep. That may be the only fuel line I have. So I guess we'll go with that.
So I stepped it down 2 to 19/64.
Okay.
And it's just big enough.
Here, use this guy
Oh,
actually.
yeah, there it is.
And then that battery.
Definitely did not take much. 5/16. Next step up.
Hopefully that does it.
Probably won't. But that's alright.
Yeah, it needs to be like a pretty snug fit.
Oh, it'll be snug. Seems I can't force that down through. It'll be snug. That's the same diameter.
So up and through that way.
If I can get it through.
Also got these two.
Yeah, it might help a little more.
Paul McMahon, how's it going? Welcome. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Hope you're overcharging him for all the parts. Of course. There's a price for convenience, Megan. Come on.
Your friends are as good as my friends. Friends like mine, who needs enemies?
I know. Tom Stardust, greetings from Holland.
Hi, hello.
That's awesome. Welcome. Just keep in mind, we're just screwing around. It's like you're watching somebody else work in their garage. Only we're not in a garage, we're in a basement.
And we're not friends.
Did it go?
Got him.
Sick. Brand new line. Let me guess, you didn't put the fuel filter on first, though. Oh my god, the fuel line is owning you. You think?
Where'd you put the filter?
Right here.
Here she is.
But make sure it's patent.
Yeah.
It is. It's good. Somebody says that it's owning you.
It is.
Yes. There. Good thing it's rubber. Megan says, "Is it on yet?"
Is it in
Oh
yet?
my god, the suspense
Yes,
is killing
it
me.
is.
Yes. Okay, we're good. I'm going home. That's right.
Now I need a beer.
Fine. All right, here, I'll do this part. You get a beer.
Thought I got one.
Okay, we're assuming that the tank vent is good. I hope it is. I guess we'll find out later.
Holland. That's pretty cool.
That's really cool, yeah.
We got New Zealand and Holland.
I actually sent a tool set to Finland. Of all places, one time. You need to put those away.
Oh my god.
Who's texting you? Holy jeepers.
Mr. AHM5 cannot stop texting me. I think he's in love with me.
Oh, really? Does he tell you how I'm doing it wrong?
No, he told me how I was doing it wrong.
You were doing it wrong. Okay, here we go.
He's the one you got to talk to about the 455 and 460 Ranchers.
Okay.
Because he rebuilt it like 4 times and it still won't run.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, and by the way, I turned my phone off.
I know. Screw everybody. Okay, so with these AV mounts, the next thing I like to do is I like to kind of get everything in place, kind of just with my screwdriver, so that you kind of start lining them up, you know. And this chain catcher, I would not replace. It's got a couple of rashes on it, but who cares?
Beautiful. It's like new. Saw's got a little bit of patina on it, but it's amazing shape for 1984 that a logger owns.
Don't do that. Get rid of that. I don't need that. Where's my... Oh, you don't like power tools, but I do. So... Oh, God. Really? Big jerk.
Sometimes it's faster to just do it by hand than searching for tools.
It involves work.
Manual labor is good exercise. Scream by, sir.
Wait a minute, why do I have the same... Oh, somebody... Okay. Somebody put something back in the wrong spot.
Probably me.
All right, that's 5mm, so I'm still missing my 4mm. Where the heck did it go?
You didn't keister it, did you?
It's right here. Somebody put it in, like, the wrong spot, so, you know, whatever.
I was worried you put it in your prison wallet and we'd never see it again.
You worry too much.
And then you go back and tighten them anyways.
It's just how I do it, you know? It's just how I do it.
Oh, you're a trip.
Tell me I'm wrong, I don't want to hear it.
No más, por favor.
I hate 455 Ranchers. You know, I've had great luck with 455 Ranchers. I have.
I hate them. I despise
I know.
them.
I've had really good luck with them overall. And if you're doing something wrong, then I feel for you.
I mentioned I hate you.
So what do you want to do now? You want to put the coil on?
Yeah, not the coil.
That one needs a cylinder. Well, that's great. I can't help you since you're in New Zealand. I would help you every day of the week, but I can't. You're in the wrong continent.
What's he need? A cylinder?
Yeah, but you know, if a 455 needs a cylinder, it needs a lot more than that.
If the 455 needs a cylinder, it's cheaper to just buy another saw. Those cylinders, A, are not cheap, and everything else that you have to buy to supplement it, seals and everything else, you're better off just tossing it and getting another saw. Again, that goes back to...
Dag-nabbit.
Is that what he said? That's prior, just like the previous conversation, where is the juice worth the squeeze?
It's running its seams off. Yeah, you know, another thing that I found that really helps on the 455s is just having a brand new carburetor.
Yeah, that does make a big difference. But
brand new OEM carburetor, they're like $75. It is not cheap for them things. But I don't think I ever kitted one and got one running proper. and you put a brand new carb on it, and it runs perfect. So, been my experience so far with that. Truth be told, the only saw I think I've ever kitted a carburetor reliably on and got it to run right was a 394.
056.
It's a bigger carburetor. These little carburetors, they just don't kit well. Passages are all too small, whatever, you know.
And a lot of carbs just don't like being worked on.
Buck, say it, not a husky. No, it's a bigger carburetor. That's the issue.
I've rebuilt a couple 394s, 395s, 3120, big Dolmars. It's a bigger carburetor. There's bigger circuitry inside, bigger venturi. It's easier, and a lot of those small carbs just don't like being worked on.
Yep. Where's the... There you go. So business card in between, that's to gap it. Regular old, basically 10 thousandths business card is what it is.
Or 8 thousandths if you fold a $100 bill in half.
There you go. Just whatever. Fine. You know, it works with a $1 bill too, but it's the same.
I was making reference to how rich you are since we're in this wonderful, enormous, gigantic.
It's a big, beautiful shop. It's all organized.
8 foot by 10 foot basement. Where I'm a midget and I keep whacking my head and my back on stuff.
Oh, golly. Yeah, gotta clean all the holes. I know. All right. By the way, does the list? Hang on, list. O-rings. O-rings.
Oh yeah, you gave me an O-ring for the oil pump.
2 of them. Yep. Go ahead. What else?
Nothing.
The bellows is on there.
No, you gave me this other bellows.
Give me that bellows, but I don't know where is it. Let's see if it fits.
It was sitting right there.
It might not fit. I wonder if the 181 bellows is different. Hope not, but sure it looks bigger.
That's what she said. Looks bigger in the picture.
Who's sending pictures?
It definitely is bigger. A lot bigger.
I wonder if a 272 one would work.
Probably. Yeah, that's definitely a lot bigger.
Here's 281. Is that a different size hole?
Yep. That hole's bigger.
So,
So you take the bellows and put it back in your pocket.
I'm going to cross that off the list. Boom. Okay. Well, that's kind of crappy. Oh, I think a 272 bellows might actually work.
Probably. But I can add that on later. It's not a big deal. So I can go see you.
Who's got $100 bills these days?
Right?
I might somewhere. Well, man, but a 372 like you did, wish me luck. Yeah, good luck.
I like 372s. I've never had a hard time with them. I've never had a problem. I did 50, 60 of them. Never really had a problem. The only one I had a problem with, the case was all wallered out.
Yep.
Because he spun the bearing in the case. He spun the bearing so bad there was nothing left to it, and the crank was slapping up and down and caught the bearing and spun it in the case. And it still ran. Don't ask me how, but the poor thing still ran.
The one that I had, Tree Guy had, and he had the seal on the PTO side was flopping. It had that much of an air leak, so it actually it sped too much. It over revved, and you ended up having the crank actually move on the pin.
Yeah.
So then it started rubbing on the crankcase.
Mm-hmm.
But thinking about it now, if I went back and messed with that, I'll bet wallow out the seal, just the not the bearing pocket, but the actual seal pocket on the PTO side.
Yeah, and put a bigger seal.
No, use a 346 XP bearing.
Oh yeah, with the seal, the integrated
with the integrated seal.
Yeah, that would have worked fine.
And then you have to adjust the size of the bushing, but
yeah, somebody else was doing that because that stupid little minuscule O-ring. And
yep,
it's a
bad
JB
design.
Weld it. Some people JB weld it.
Yep.
I used a little bit of 1183 on it. You know, I'd put the seal in there, but it's a one-use little crush O-ring.
Yep.
That once you torque down,
you get one shot.
That's
it.
That's it.
That 440 over there that I did, that's sitting on the ground, has a 346 XP PTO bearing in it because it has the 440s had the same design as a 372. They just never spec to actually use that stupid O-ring.
Yeah.
So anyway, I figured, well, let's try a 346 XP bearing in there and see how long it lasts.
Well, I did it with
Cody Brown. What's going on, man?
I ended up doing the 1183, let it tack up, same as the 1184, just different color. It's white versus gray. Let it tack up a touch, and then slide that shaft over.
Yeah.
And seal it real good. Torque down the
clutch good. Yeah.
the clutch good, and let it sit for a couple hours at least.
Fine.
Set up real good, and then finish putting it back together.
Sure.
I mean, it worked. I never had one come back. I never sucked the air in. Never had issue.
Let's see if we can get the head on this damn thing. What do you think? I'd say we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, where's that razor blade?
Okay, yeah, put it back. Right there in the middle. I usually throw a little, you can put a little bit of 1184 in that spot if you want.
I'm just checking it, and it's pretty damn close.
That razor's pretty sharp. Are the 372 Chinese cases mag or I think they're mag, but I don't know.
They're mag. They're not worth it. They don't hold up. A lot of people have issue with the tapping in the holes. They're not deep enough, so when you run the stock bolts back in, it bottoms out and then strips out the threading.
I'm not seeing that issue. I've seen a lot of issues with 372 aftermarket cases, but not that.
Well, I've seen that and the bearing pocket not being in the right spot, and the bearing or the crank is actually offset some. I sent 2 of them back for that.
Never seen that. One of the issues with those cases is that the
Oh, this lip is higher.
no where the impulse line goes through, they have it tapped in the wrong spot. Well, they have
that little jog.
Yes, so they actually have a straight out, and it doesn't work. You need something to make a jog. So you actually have to retrofit it with the jog with some JB weld, which does work.
Oh.
So what do I want to do next?
Well, let's fit the cylinder on. Okay. I say sans gasket.
We'll try it on without the Try it on without the gasket and see where the squish is. That's fine. Where's the new head? You got the new head? Is this the new head?
Yeah, I set it aside there.
What the heck?
What'd you do? Did it bite you?
Kinda. Single ring, huh?
Yep, single fat ring. If you think about it heat transfer wise, it's better, but friction wise, you'll never beat a double thin ring.
We need
The C-clips.
this guy. So let's just test it without. We got one clip already factory installed.
Okay. Stop throwing my stuff on the
Okay.
floor. Can you hand me the weasel piss, please?
Dang, have a 390. What do you want?
Weasel piss, WD-40, anything? Anything, doesn't matter. Just some sort of...
372 Chinese case that needs an alloy repair. Really? Why? See, my aftermarket Chinese cases hold up fine. They have, for me, they've been fine. But it's not everybody's experience, you know.
Definitely not mine. I've never had one last more than 6 or 8 months. And I never did one for somebody else. I always tried to use OEM. I just messed around with it myself. Never had a good... Oof, I gotta clean this thing up. Casting definitely isn't as good as it used to be.
But the plating's beautiful.
The plating's gorgeous. Plating is beautiful.
288 OEM brand new head. Brand new. Right, we're gonna put that on the list, right?
No, you don't have to put that on the list.
That's Mom. I'll do that.
Yep. Tell her I said hi.
Hey. Live on YouTube with Fox.
So I'm taking the ring off so I don't screw it up. We'll just dry fit here. Oh. Finally starts to look like something. Oh man, you don't have a 4.5. Probably do. Somewhere around here. There it is. Again, I don't like power tools for doing this. I prefer to do it by hand. Disassembly, yeah, no problem. But reassembling, I prefer to use just a regular old ratchet or a specialty like a Weehaw or something like that that fits the right size, just to make sure. I like to be able to feel it. But that's just me. It's not for everybody. Here we go. Put that guy back. Well, I'd say if you have any questions, ask away, but I can't see anything because Matt's on the phone. So, just gonna have to bear with me for a couple minutes. Man, this place looks like a mess. Nice and smooth. See if I can find solder.
Sick.
Fitted nice. I'll pop it back off.
Oh, by the way, this is right here too.
Oh, beautiful. I'm about to pop it back off because I tested it before. I put it on, bolted it down, spun it over. Make sure it's good before.
Okay. Whatever, man.
Everybody does a little different, but
Everybody
before
is different. Yep.
you put a nice brand new cylinder on and oh, it doesn't work. Oh, I can't spin it.
Cody, good luck. I gotta run, man. Have a good night. Yeah, Cody, have a good night. Thanks. So what was wrong?
I didn't put any solder on top. Or you just run it through a spark plug hole?
I just ran it through the spark plug hole.
Oh.
And if I'm checking squish, I mainly just put 2 bolts down, as opposed to having all 4. But
Well, I'm special.
okay. Is it a head slapper?
No.
Okay. Wise people keep in mind that we have no idea what the hell we're doing.
Yeah, I'm
Everything's
totally
gonna be
my
fine.
first thought. Never done this before. Too much angling. I don't even know who I am.
I'm Batman. Here we go. Actually, visually it looks just fine, but didn't I just bring it out? Where the hell is it? I just brought it out.
It's right here.
$18,000.
Doesn't get any better than that.
It's a little tight, but not bad. You want to run it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I guess we're running it like that.
You figure you'll take up another 1.5 with a little bit of goop.
It might. Might be an extra amount of goop, but yeah.
I mean, it feels good. It does.
Okay.
No flat spot. So,
That 18,000, Brett.
So a 1984 cased 181, 1984, with a brand new OEM Husky 288 cylinder, no base gasket, and doing a base gasket delete ended up 18 thousandths. Typically, you want 20 thousandths because of heat expansion and everything else, and not wanting it to be too tight. But this is a decomp cylinder head, so we should be able to be just fine at 18. We'll see where we end up. Worst case scenario, it blows up and I do it again.
You want to just slap that head on and kind of deal with everything else later, or you want to grind on the head a little bit?
I'd rather grind on the head a bit.
Okay. Right. Depends on what you're doing. Do I have more heads? I might have more heads. Do I have more heads? I do have more heads. They're like $15 a shot.
Those are?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice.
And usually I like run through one of them for a port job. Sometimes they just eat themselves instantly too, so kind of sucks. But 20 is better, yeah. Don't know how many people use calipers for thickness. Good job on the mic. Thanks, Vince. By the way, Vince is a machinist kind of extraordinaire.
Oh,
So,
very well.
Yeah.
Where's he from?
Yeah, Vince, where are you from, man? I forget. He actually showed me some cool stuff about how to mic up the cylinder head. And it's with an indicall, right? That's what that's called? So there's something called an indicall, which is actually something you can attach to your Bridgeport. All right, so when I see chrome plating, I kind of like get a little squeamish about grinding on it.
Yeah. Yeah, but as long as you relax.
But I can't relax. That's the problem.
Take
Here,
it easy.
Let's move this off to somewhere else.
Well, let's put the wrist pin in.
John Riley wrist pin pliers. They're John Riley's idea for wrist pin pliers. Click. Perfect. That's what you want to do? It's in. It's done now.
Wow. Fancy.
The other thing we can do, just to make you feel better, which I think will make you feel better.
Thank you.
Oil. Oil. So you have an absolute pile of oil, and you're good.
And it was smooth as butter. It's still smooth as butter. Beauteous.
Is that the ring there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I always take the ring off when I
Sure.
test.
Where'd you get this, by the way?
Out of your toolbox?
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I never know what I have in there. Okay. Oh, there. All right. So you want to do a little grinding now? Is that the idea?
Possibly.
Okay.
If you want me to.
Yeah, sure. What do you want?
It's been a while.
Michigan, yeah, indical holder. Yep. I remember. Thanks, man. Still haven't gotten one, but the idea is good.
Get some stuff out of the ways.
I don't know what the next few months or years holds for me, so I haven't done much of anything. If you get what's going on, so if I know I'm going to have a job for a while, then I can spend some money. But if I'm not going to have a job for a while, then I might not want to, spend money, type of thing.
What? Being responsible? Who does that? Who does that? Just doing some refresh thing on there.
Check your network connection. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, we're good. We're still good. Yeah, sometimes this unit will be fine, other times it won't. What's funny is like this one says 40% battery, even though it's been plugged in forever. Great.
Isn't that how it always works?
So you can't be like live all day, apparently, at least not with these things.
This goes in here.
We can get rid of the fish paper, I think, if you want.
Okay.
That's what Kenny calls this. Okay, so the idea here is you want to basically clean up anything here that's sticking out at you.
So I think I'm going to clean it up. I would like to.
I would leave it and run it, man. 100%.
I'd like to open up the exhaust a little bit.
You do what you want. It's your head now. So, sometimes this behaves and sometimes it doesn't.
Oh, wonderful.
Which one you want?
The little one. Yeah, I'll take the little one. Oh, this is one of the fancy ones with the foot pedal one. Oh boy.
You have to actually learn how to use the foot pedal. Yeah.
What's the speed on this? 8,000?
30,000 max. So, what, slower or faster?
Slow's good. This right there, that big snot of.
Mm-hmm.
That's what. Because I can feel it on the inside.
You do whatever you want, man.
So if you look. I don't know if you
Megan
can see
says
it in
don't
there,
slip.
But there's a booger of
Plating?
plating
Yeah.
right above my finger there. And there's another one on.
This light, actually,
no.
press it forward.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So if you can see, there's a little booger
I
of
can bring this
plating.
down here. Yep.
And there's more on the exhaust side that I'm a little bit paranoid about. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, and you see a little bit more on the floor there.
Good.
So I prefer to just clean them up a touch, and then file it out some, and make sure it's good, so I don't have any issues.
Something about a hoof rasp.
Yeah, yeah. I do know a farrier.
By the way, my wife's getting pizza for us, so we might take a break here in a bit.
I don't need pizza, I'm fat.
You look like you could use some pizza.
I'm fat and I'm homeless. Homeless bearded guy, as I've been called. So, with porting, as with anything else, Don't get greedy.
And more beer is better, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want to see, like, out of curiosity, do you think layout die would help on there? Watch this.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What are you gonna do with that?
I don't know if you want to put layout die on something.
Oh,
Like if it would help you identify what needs to be ground and what doesn't.
no, I think I'm accustomed enough to looking at it to just see. I think I can see it, but that thing is pretty cool. Oh yeah, I'm totally gonna use that on your car.
It's just a Sharpie. Goes right in there.
That is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
$50 later. It's not cheap, but
$50?
well, but just think of how much instead of using spray paint or layout dye,
It's true.
this is good for like nearly forever. And just change out the Sharpie, right? Brett says the big bastard file will fix that.
Get a wood plane with a hammer.
Why use carbide? Yeah. There's no point, right?
Do you normally do port work in front of them?
Yeah.
Live?
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking if I might have a 272 bellows. I wonder
If you
that
do,
works.
you do. If you don't, you don't.
It's out in the shed.
Oh, don't bother going out in the shed. It's snowing out.
Is it?
It's supposed to be. It was snow when I left the other place. So just remember, your eyes can deceive you. Always double check with your fingers because you can feel. Never just trust looking at it. If you can feel it, try to feel it. No, Mr. Matee, you are not very nice. And just remember, this is a family show. So be polite. If you can't be polite, you'll be deleted. How do you like me now? So, clean this up a little bit. As you can see, oh, you stay there. Don't fight me. I'm just widening up the exhaust a touch. You can see where I just cleaned up the roof because there's a bunch of overhang. And just widening it out just a touch. Nothing crazy. Not going absurd with it. Just a little bit to...
Your hand's covering it, just so you know.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you can see that?
Nope, but we can try. Hang on. Stay right there, don't move.
So, not going crazy. Still got a lot of smoothing out to do.
Good. Where you got the flash? I don't know.
Nothing crazy.
Where's the ring?
It's over here.
So one thing I like to do, take the ring. I happen to have a 54mm piston here, but sitting around. But what you can do is take the ring and basically put it in there, and you get yourself a reference.
Oh yeah, you can set your height and everything else, and make sure everything's level and flush. Like I said, I've got a lot of cleaning up to do. Getting through that chrome was kind of tough.
Yeah, the chrome is kind of crazy. Okay. So now, look there. Now what you can do.
Oh, you can use your little blowy tool, huh?
You could, or just hit it with the regular
Yeah.
Sharpie. And then you just make sure it's dry before you move it.
So, I was just following the...
Hey Vince, think of the 3 more Husky 65L cases? Wow.
L. Really?
65L. Yeah, that's oldie, huh? So yeah, make sure it's dry, and then you have a line to... Isn't there like an issue with finding parts for those, Vince? They're like a real pain to find parts for. Something about an oiler and whatever. I'm not familiar with the...
So now you're left with a nice little reference mark after you take the ring out. And like I said, it looks like Bucket of Beaver went at it, but I got some smoothing out to do. It'll clean it up right.
Just got a comment on the video on the 332 Flywheel key, shared key. He says, number 12 wire for the key. Genius. Piss on a $300 flywheel replacement.
It's not wrong.
It's funny.
I will say this is a bit weird with the foot pedal. Definitely much different than what I am accustomed to.
I can give you what you're accustomed to. I can hook the Dremel there. We can just put a burr in and go. But it's a different size shaft.
Yeah. No,
and by the way, the pizza's hot, so when you're ready, we'll take a quick break. Husky268, what's going on, man? Husky268, do me a solid and send me your, just shoot me an email, man. I'll put up my email. Can you send me an email? Because I've got some like random 268 stuff I can just send you. Just to get rid of things. I get so much stuff, but I just don't need it. And if you want 268 parts, it may be now. At the time I got them, a huge box of parts, $100, 3 blenders out of them, easy enough to build 2 more for L65. Okay. Do they have a chain brake though? I try not to run anything that doesn't have a chain brake. Like as a general rule. Did the Sharpie come out okay?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Just trying to clean up my bucket of beaver over here a little bit. Can I bring this bit out anymore, or is it locked in where it is?
Oh, you can bring it out more.
How does one go about doing that? Huh. Yeah.
That may be too far for it to spin proper, just so you know. But you can try it. If it's spinning good, great. And by the way, if you want to have something to clean it up,
That's what I always do.
okay, let's take a break for pizza,
Alright. Let's take a break for pizza.
We're going to take a break for pizza. We might come back, we might not. I don't know exactly what's going on tonight. Depends on how much beer Buck imbibes, you know. But
make me sound like a drunk, why don't you?
time for pizza. So we're out. If we come back, we come back. If we don't, we don't. But either way, we will get this thing back together. We will show you guys what's up. Right?
Yes, sir.
One way or another. Okay. We're out, and we'll see you guys later.
Thank you all.
Everybody have a great night. Thanks so much, and be safe. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, the whole shoot. Later, guys. Thanks, Vince. Thanks, Mega. Thanks to Craig and Ken and all those wonderful people that are here, and Tim and everybody else that makes this place special. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.